We up, we up, we here, we here, baby. What's good? What's good, y'all? Yeah, let's get the likes up. Yo, what's up, CR? Somebody was telling me, oh, why you make a video? Why you make a video? Nah, some shit just blasphemous. Like, what they talking about? Like, what fake tribes are they talking about? I wonder who the fake tribes they talking about? Are they trying to sue the fake tribes? What? What's up? Talking about she loves women. What's up? They want to sue the fake tribes. I was like, who are they talking about?
Whoa, what's down? What's down?
Was that? Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out who the fuck these folks talking about.
I see the topic, and I'm like, who's the fake tribes? Because they tell us we not federally recognized, so that mean we fake now.
Yeah, that's some of their criteria. Hell yeah, if you ain't federally recognized, you faking their eyes.
I see
If
that's
you
the bullshit, and that's why they ain't going to take it to court, bro. 'Cause I promise you, that paperwork is gonna reveal all. It ain't gonna be no arguing after that.
like playing Call of Duty and shit, talking on the stage. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I heard the Yamasi. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I heard the Yamasi. They want to take the Yamasi to court, and then they want to take I was like, I guess Chihoro Warhorse and shit. I was like, y'all gonna look stupid as hell. They talking about they calling it BIA on people for selling stuff and things and stuff like that, selling things. What's up, Rebel? Well, thank you for the follow. For selling Indian, just I guess Indian regalia and um whatever. That's what the fuck they saying. They must be talking about them YT folk. Cause I don't know too many us selling Indian stuff. So
It's them I see at the flea market pushing sterling silver and turquoise every goddamn well. So I don't see how the hell they want to try and say we the ones out here selling fake shit when it's them. And a lot of that shit, I'm pretty sure if they didn't make them themselves, they probably got them secondhand through whatever nefarious needs, means, and necessities that they use to gain those. You know what I'm saying, throughout their history, and they just selling it back to us.
right, you know. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, yeah, they talk about this. Oh yeah, you gonna go to jail. You can go to federal prisons for 3 to 5 years, and you can get a fine. I forgot how much the fine was. I think they were talking about 6 figures or some shit. Like at 6 figures is fine. What's up, Gia? What's up, Suzy? Man, these folks crazy. These folks is geeking. What's up, Jules? On Pocahontas, they geeking, yeah. Yeah, shout out to Venus. She the one been keep me up in the loop because Salgi Kiki got me blocked. Make sure you check out Salgi Kiki's live stream and then Cholo to find out all the details. What's up, Bo?
What's up? What's up, man? Hey, what's up?
Your
Hey,
background loud as
I'm gonna tell
hell.
you, I'm a,
You had to turn your TV down or something. Your background loud as hell. I can't even hear you. I can't even hear you. What's up, New Era? Mm-hmm. What it do? I can play the videos. I can play the videos that she been making. Chilling, bro. Chilling. That's good to hear. Yeah. See the fake tribes. Native Americans want to sue fake American Indian tribes. Where the smoke for all the, I said that shit. I was like, where the smoke for the actual people that's actually colonizing? Like, you feel me? Like, where's the smoke for the people that's actually colonizing somewhere? They ain't got no smoke. Like, where the smoke for the people that's taking land and shit? You know? Why ain't y'all soon to get land back from people?
They
Huh?
can't. It ain't their land. They would have to sue the government, which they can't, because it ain't their land. See how that works?
Oh man, where the smoke? They calling the BIA on everybody. Uh-huh. Oh, you calling the BIA? You calling ICE trying to get folk reported? I'm like, bro, yeah, let me play these videos. Let me play these videos. And Dane did Calloway, like Dane Calloway was kicking her ass. So I already saw one of them videos. I found a way to take that. Oh, I already saw that. We already seen that. They got an update. Okay, cool. Everybody's gonna have to be on mute. Then mute. Then for sure.
Hey guys, good afternoon. So I just wanted to come on here and say we're doing great with calling the tip lines. Encourage anybody else you know to call and make a tip with the BIA, with ICE, and we can actually do something to get these tribes taken down. There's stuff going on in the works that a lot of people don't know about, but that's all I'm going to say about that. Secondly, for you Britannians out there that think that nothing can happen to you while making these fake tribes and or selling tribal made jewelry that you are saying is made by an indigenous person, those can have huge consequences and huge fines attached to that. So I just want you to be aware that this is what you can be charged with for this fraudulent behavior. You can get, and the punishment is 3 to 5 in federal and a fine of $250,000. So for those of you that think this is a joke, it happens. You can be charged with this. This is a real thing. This is not just TikTok land. And now that more people are aware of it and we're tired of it, more of you are going to start getting in trouble. It's not just TikTok. Toodles.
She got an off ass look in her eyes. Yeah, them trash
Look
ass
at
rappers. We
Ocean.
should like her eyes. She's something off with her. Like I'm looking at her in her eyes.
As a matter of fact, no longer go by African American. You can't be too basic.
Okay, so I have a very valid question for you guys, or any of your Britannian friends can answer. I just want to know. Um, so now that you're not African anymore, and you're no longer claiming African American heritage or coming from a slave trade, you're no longer claiming any of that. You denounce it and everything like that. So you're no longer that. Why are so many of you still saying the N word then? Because that word is for African American people.
Who the fuck? Like,
That.
who the fuck gave her? Who the fuck gave her authority to tell us what we can say? If we do which word? Say which words? Like, who the fuck? Who gave her a voice in the quote unquote African American Black community? Who the fuck gave her a voice?
Yeah, the ginger's doing that too now. But we can't say the N word.
Right. I ain't seen no ginger say no shit like that. Oh, brother.
And look, bro, shit crazy out here, man. They really said that crazy.
Who the fuck is she? And any person with sense would cuss her ass out for saying that.
Slavery. since none of your ancestors, quote unquote, were a part of the slave trade or descended from Africa, according to you, you have no merit or right to that word anymore. So I really think people should be calling you out for what you are, and it's a racist because only racists use that word like that.
Oh, she must want to say that shit.
Also, I don't think it should be in your vocabulary anymore if you're going to choose to denounce everything that got that word for the Black community. You can't have it both ways. You can't choose to be Native American and then take something and cherry pick what you want from another group of people when it doesn't fit your narrative. You cannot say the N-word anymore. That goes for all Brazilians.
Man,
You can't say it because it's not yours.
so she lucky. She is lucky she has me blocked. I was gonna give her more of a reason to have me fucking blocked after seeing this video. Like, who the fuck is she? I was gonna give her more of a reason to have me fucking blocked after seeing this.
So of all the comments that I get this one pretty much the most. And I don't know why everybody thinks, like all the Virginians think this is an insult when it's not. Because of Asian women, Japanese women, Chinese women, any women from that descent, those are some of the most beautiful, some of the baddest, smartest bitches on this planet, and are one of the most sought after women to date on this planet. And
Ooh.
everybody is like trying to take from Korean skincare, beauty tips from Chinese women, how to look younger.
Who the fuck?
So,
Hold on, who the fuck is taking beauty tips from Chinese women? What?
I ain't met one sister that took up any geisha girl beauty tips. Like, nah.
And honestly, she don't even look at it. She looked mixed with Europe. Like, you can tell she's mixed with European, dude. Like, she looked more European than anything. If you ask me, that's just me. Like, she looked more European than anything. If you ask me.
oh, like for you guys to say this to me all the time, like this isn't an insult.
Okay, she's trying to
Fucking
code.
compliment. So thank you.
Yeah, shit.
So
I'm not observing these videos. Thank you for sending me this. Observing these videos, honestly, she ain't got no type of confidence in her voice. You can hear her voice shaking in the videos that she making. She only has some sort of confidence in the N-word video, not in the video about them taking us to court. None of that. you can hear her fucking voice shake. Mm-mm-mm. That shit crazy. Venus, where you at? You ain't here? What's up, undecided? But yeah, this shit gonna be interesting how things unfold, right? How things unravel during these times. We'll see what's going on. What's up, Creole girl? I don't know. People knowing pick and choose who to block. They know who to block on here for sure. People know who to block on here and Twitter. And they do take a can we show our genealogy, right? They not even I don't even think they thinking about us, honestly. They not even thinking about us. They more so trying to go after the Amasi and stuff like that and the Lumbee, right? Because I've heard they want to go after the Lumbee. What's up, Bree Bree? Like the Lumbee just got federally recognized, and they were federally recognized before they took it away. People don't know that the Lumbee were recognized in the 1900s. Were federally recognized in the 1900s. They took that away because of money. Because I talked to the Lumbee at a powwow, right? I talked to one of their heads, one of their chair people, right? And I was talking to him. He was just letting me know, like, hey, yeah, we were federally recognized in the 1900s, right? And then they took it away because of money or something. They didn't have enough money. And then he was just saying that a lot of this stuff is about money, basically. When it comes to recognition and things like that, that's how politics work in, with these tribes and stuff. It's mostly about money. That's why the Eastern Band Cherokee don't really like the Lumbee. They didn't want the Eastern Band of Cherokee didn't want the Lumbee to get federally recognized. Because of money. What's up, Los? Yeah, but that shit weird. Shit real weird. They want to go out like, oh man. But yeah, that shit weird, yeah. Or land. Yeah, it's about money and land. Uh-huh. Are you saying black people are Indians? Yes, there are black people that are Indians, like, or a different justice system. Right. So that's how that's money and land. How much money? If it's not about the money, I don't know what it's about. It's about being petty. These folks is either it's about being petty. Hey, what's up, Jasmine? Yo, what's up, Tom? He must not meant to come up here. He watching something.
I'm
He's watching
still laughing from your last video you posted. Like I need a second. I need a second.
for sure. Appreciate that. I actually made a serious video just now. Even if there's man S, they'll go through tribal court. I'm from Southside India. Hell yeah, I'm from Southside India too. I'm from uh I'm from the O block of India. India O block. Nah, let me stop. Um
I know. So I saw your serious video too, right? But I needed that comedic relief.
yeah, for sure.
You're taking us to like who are you taking to court? Are we really are going to prove who's indigenous to this land or any land? Because you know, my opinion has always been that we're the beginning and the end, the alpha, the omega. So when
Mhm.
it comes to I think they don't realize that we are not a monolith of one group of people, not one tribe of people, but we also
Right.
have different skills.
Mhm.
So
Facts.
it just always behooves me where they'll come here tethering or whatever, and yeah, and them too, right? Tethering or whatever, and being like, well, we don't know who you are. Well, show us your DNA. Will you show us yours? And then here's our DNA. Well, you see, it doesn't connect you to the root. Well, you didn't even show your DNA. But I can promise you, if you actually understood genetics, you would understand that Native Americans want to sue fake quote unquote American Indian tribes when they literally are not about that life. I would love for them to give their DNA over. Let's think about this. What what is blood quantum?
Right.
Now, whose DNA are you comparing originality against?
Mhm. Right. And then on top of that, like let's say what I was about to say. What was I about to say? But yeah, they want to take. I heard them bring up the folks talking about the Lumbee. They want to take the Lumbee to court. They want to take the Yamasi to court. People that have like Lumbee just got federally recognized. So good luck, right? Good luck. With the Yamasi, they have a reservation and they're state recognized. So good luck. you know, I don't know. I never heard anybody bring up Chief Warhorse, but I'm sure they want to. They always call Chief Warhorse a fake Indian, right? They always call her a pretendian and stuff like that. But yeah, our folks just got recognized in Louisiana, so good luck.
They're not betting
This is
on is that the people who are admixing those tribes go betting on black. That's what they're not counting on. So for me personally, I'm not a registered tribal member, but my great great grandmother Narcisse Lucy is a registered tribe member of the Mississippi Band of Choctaw Nation.
uh-huh.
There's no blood quantum in that tribe because it's an admixed tribe. It's just because hey, we've always had different types of tribes and pretendian tribes, right? When I
Right.
think about pretending, I think about the people who came over the Bering Strait Bridge, ice wall, and that still come to this day. That's like not even that long of a walk if there was a landmass there. But they come over here and they try to sit here and say that, oh, you're a mixed tribe or you're a pure tribe that's darker toned and woolly haired, or your tribe that looks more like this, whatever. Those Eskimos had dark skin. Where is your copper color at?
hmm Yeah. Hold on, y'all want to? I'm gonna ask the chat son. Y'all want to talk to people on Twitter? Should I make this a Twitter space too?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, are you there?
Yeah.
Y'all want to talk to people on Twitter? Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. Let's see what people want. No, Creole girl doesn't want to talk to people on Twitter. All right, you want to talk? All right, cool. Bet I'll make a Twitter space. All right, brace yourselves, because who knows what we gonna get on Twitter.
Do we have to like
One
talk about,
second.
like
All right,
say
brace
the words?
yourselves, because who knows what we gonna get on Twitter. Wait, let me start. Hold on, I'm gonna start the space, and then I'm gonna have to share that screen. How the fuck? More spaces. Create your space. Only invite people you can speak. Choose community. You got me. None. All right. Add. What do you want to talk about? Native Americans. Americans want to sue. Want to sue. I don't know how to set that up. Fake American Indian tribes. Let's see how stable spaces is. I might get kicked out. Start now. Record space. Yeah, let's record it. Let's see what people folks on Twitter is talking about.
Negro describes the color black, but not always people, later weaponized in colonization. Moro, originally a religious and cultural term for North African Muslims. French sources, Dictionnaire de l'Académie Française, 1694. Noir, dark, with connotations of evil, misfortune, not yet a racial category, more, used for Moors, associated with grandeur, exoticism, not degradation. Summary, the name change was political, not genetic. Time period, your likely identity, modern misinterpretation. Pre-1000s, Berber, Moor, Afro-Asiatic, Kushite, not labeled black. 1491, Moor, Converso, Indigenous American, renamed Negro, Mulatto. Post-1492, enslaved or free person of color, legally and socially labeled black. Genetically, you're still carrying those ancient lineages. Culturally, they were overwritten. Would you like me to pull exact dictionary definitions from these sources so you can quote them in your...
Yeah, no, that's all I want to say is they have to bring all those facts to court when they go against us. Period. I land my plane there.
All right, for sure. We got, but yeah, what I want to say is, I don't know why folks that think they're so intellectual, so highly intellectual, and that they can debunk us and everything, right? Are so emotional and don't know how to shut up when folks are talking. I thought y'all were y'all had all the proofs that we are debunkable. Y'all can't even debunk us on TikTok. What's the thing y'all think y'all going to debunk us in a fucking court setting? Y'all can't debunk us on X. What makes y'all think y'all can debunk us in a goddamn court setting? Y'all can't even debunk us on Instagram and Facebook. What makes y'all think y'all can debunk us in a goddamn court setting? And when we show y'all stuff, y'all so disingenuous and so have so much cognitive dissonance and emotional biases, right? That when we show y'all information, y'all get the denying it. Y'all think y'all get the sweating and shit. Y'all not even confident in saying y'all want to sue us. If I play the videos again of this lady saying they want to sue us, her fucking voice is shaking. She ain't got no confidence in that shit. Oh yeah, we talking to the BIA, we coming up with a plan, this, and that. Why your voice shaking? Speak the fuck up. Speak with some bass in your goddamn voice. You know? What else? Everybody wanna call me while I'm on live, bro. God damn. Thank you for the follow, sweets. But yeah, I done lost my train of thought. Y'all can go ahead.
Talking about Salagi Kiki, bro. You was getting in on her ass.
Yeah, it's like all that. Like, since you want to keep pressing the issue, and she got me blocked for a reason. Only 3 million native. Like, yeah, like she got me blocked for a reason because she ended up. Well, if I would have saw these videos on my.
Now, to me, like she's like Joe Yaya or whatever. Like he's always mad at me for calling him Josiah or whatever.
No, that's it. I don't give a fuck about what his name is.
I don't care what his name is. I know that they know that they cannot sit here and deny what this is what they want us to do, right? They are white tea adjacent. And then we have people who are BOK adjacent. And we also know that there's the copper color, which is the beginning and the end, adjacent. And they want to sit here and try to prove themselves while being so much related to like these cave beasts. I think that's the nicest way that I can say it. They think that makes them cool. Like, you guys are like the worst and this, whatever. Look at our welfare. We got all of our welfare with our casino money, whatever. Like, we just like don't follow treaties because we have no values. Like, but look at us. Woo! Like, they want us to sit here and really think that we can't say that we observe that.
That's facts.
What we're doing.
Bring your stupid ass up here, J Rock. You muted. The only way you can talk is if you come up here. Like, we ain't doing y'all ain't gonna just talk shit in the comments.
When they got JC, I peeped his profile. He's a whole troll.
For real, that I have actual registered ancestors, but that
the man didn't have any decorum. At least Earl Boone is having some decorum. At least he went on mute. Fucking JC kept blurting out and shit and being a moron and
Yeah, I made him.
Uncivilized.
I made him delete his goofy ass video trying to debunk some shit.
Oh, he still got it up.
No,
I'm
that shit.
just
He's even.
fascinated on learning history. So, like, I learned today. I didn't even know this, and I'm going to tell y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I did not, because another live is talking about box braids and stuff. I did not know, and I'm telling you, as a white man, I did not know that they use the box braids and stuff to use them as maps to hide different kind of stuff inside their hair. I didn't know about any of this, and it fascinated me.
That's crazy. I'm gonna get oh my gosh, thank you.
Land it, please.
About this.
Hold on.
So I come
Yeah.
on here, and I just want to learn. That's all.
All right,
Yes,
for sure. They mad copper smurf. Go ahead. Yeah, I want to hear from somebody that has. What's up, Jalen? He been up here. And I haven't heard from Firewalker either.
Yeah, man,
know-
they gonna say we extinct, man. They gonna say that we claiming some shit. But I think that they finna give us our land back right inside of a fucking bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like as soon as they walk into them courtrooms, man, that's when we get our shit back. Cause they ain't worth but shit, you know. They gonna go there and say that we African, and they're gonna be like, no, they're really not African, because they know who we really are. The government know, like the government literally came to us to learn about some of the Native American tribes. Literally came to the hood asking about, like, oh my fault, I got a call. You know what I'm saying? Coming to the hood asking about Native American ideologies. You know.
So I don't.
So I'm gonna mute up.
So do you all have to like prove that y'all were natives to America versus being brought over on ships? Is that what it is? You have
Look,
to find track back your lineage?
So look, Earl, we've been proving that for years on here and in real life.
Right.
If you was
Yep.
raised like this, right? So now, when you are the one that's bringing something to a courtroom, right? You are now dealing with the burden of proof. The burden of proof is not on who you're accusing; it's on you to prove that they were the ones or not the ones. And once you do that, this is the issue with them doing what they're doing. They're gonna disprove themselves because it's already a known fact that you're not originally from this continent. Forget being from the mainland, forget being from the country, forget being from the islands. It's a known fact that they are not from this continent whatsoever, right? So then once you say and bring up anything else against somebody else, now you're gonna have to sit there and be like, okay, well, you don't really have a case because you're not the original. So now we have to find out who the originals were. So even if they want to act like they don't know who we are, you have to start doing research on who we are just by bringing this claim to the courts.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, how do you even start looking up the paper trail to go all the way back to find out all
So
of that
for one,
information?
Earl Boone, you got a whole bunch of evidence out there. You got, for example, David Eltis, the co-editor of SlaveVoyages.org. He's the same guy that Henry Louis Gates promotes his website for talking about slave trade numbers. But mind you, Skip Gates is a hypocrite and a bought and paid for shield that was put out there to get on that California University TV YouTube channel to make a spectacle and try and mock and criticize Black Americans about their identity, which he tried to claim that there were no Black people mixing in with indigenous tribes and that there are no Black Indians in existence, when in fact, the opposite is, because you have all these maroon communities that they don't even talk about in history that started all these slave rebellions. He doesn't even talk about the potential of these, even if you want to use that 5 civilized tribes on the slaves, most likely they would have raped their Black slaves and had bastard children out of those relationships. And what these DNA companies don't tell you, which even so, that Y chromosome DNA that you would have gotten from this quote unquote 5 civilized tribe or YT slave owner, it wouldn't show a person of color or represent them well, because the DNA tests do not have a complete human genome of Native Americans or Black Americans, let alone Africans in the continent. That's only been tested on YT people. And you have so many
Can I say something
artifacts.
really quickly?
Hold on, I'll let you go next. I'll let you go. You have so many artifacts that's out there, like these Paleo Indian skulls that these YTs are finding, such as the Kennewick Man, the Naya skull, not the Anzac boy. They all come back with Australoid phenotypes and don't match modern
Yeah, I'm sorry. But
style
the
Native
problem with
American.
everything that you're saying, right, is that you don't even know how to encode your voice, and that's the part that gets you cut off.
What do you mean?
Yes, you don't.
Because you've
You're
been
tic-tac-toe, and we're in a
I'm not playing any type of thing. I know what I'm talking about.
You're playing
What's going on, yeah?
tic-tac-toe, and you're in a go room.
What
And
we
I'm gonna tell you why it's important, because we're not gonna lose. So I just feel like you need to be quiet because you're not teaching us anything. Welcome to
But I am, because I know
You're
what
not
I'm talking
teaching us
about.
anything.
I studied up on the DNA.
You're giving all of our secrets away.
Hold on 1 second.
What
huh?
secrets?
No,
It's
time
not a
out, time out.
secret.
We gonna have it's first sweep of the night, yo. Because what is going on? What is going on? Ma'am, like yeah, let's Tyrone cool, y'all. Like everybody know that Tyrone cool. Yeah. Those that know. But I will say, Tyrone, you might be talking a little too much. Just saying. I knew it was coming. Yeah, the friendly fire. Pop, 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 pop. You might be talking. You might be giving a little too much sauce, Tyrone. That's all. Just a little bit too much sauce, but it's all right. For sure. But yeah, Tyrone cool. Like, look, ain't no need to have smoke for Tyrone. All right, cool. So, well, nah. Thank you for the follow. Nah, like yeah. Oh man, appreciate the follows, yo. Well, yeah, go ahead, Tyrone. You can laugh.
But anyway, yeah, I'm not trying to reveal anything because it's not a secret. It's YTs
Sure.
saying that amongst themselves. They've been writing about it ever since we were enslaved and we weren't allowed to read. They've been talking about how Black
For sure.
Americans are the actual Indians in these books, like Almond Willie Lawbert's Indian slavery within the colonial limits of the United States. And even in these anthropological books, they've been talking about Black American craniometrics matching with Australoid, Melanesian, and Polynesian skulls. And even if they put out this haplogroup stuff, such as A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, whatever they say is the Native American haplogroup, that you find in A2 that they got Black haplogroups from Africa and Australasia / Melanesian, Polynesian genetics. So you can't use this Mongoloid ethnostate theory to say that all America was just a red ethnostate. No, because it was diverse in phenotype. They're finding that Black people were already here from like 20 to 30,000 years ago, and this is from that same Slave Voyages website guy. His expertise is on the slave trade, mind you. He said it himself on these Pan-Africanist panels that, yeah, Black people were here, just not Africans. Why land my plane there?
All right. For sure.
Yeah, but I think that one thing that we all have to, you know, critique ourselves on is that white or you know that white tea supremacy, stuff. That's not true at all, because them folks that sacked us in South 1492, they were Black people.
For sure. All right,
So
go ahead, Eden.
you know,
Yeah, we haven't heard from Eden. What's up?
Okay, so I just wanted to.
Oh, brother. Hold on, you're eating your mic. You
Can
the,
y'all hear me?
oh, you the Terminator right now. Your mic sound disgusting. Your mic sound disgusting. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Oh hell no. No, like we can hear you. You sound there's something wrong with you in a bad spot. You had to get up out that spot you in. Yeah, you sound disgusting right now. I just saw somebody that took your phone, eating. You don't sound nothing like that. Drop and come back or something. I don't know what that is. Nah, eat it. I've talked to Eden plenty of times. Why they want to sue? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. They think we imposing or something.
Man, I'm gonna repeat it again, bro. It's the dumbest thing you can possibly do to go with this narrative. For them to do this, it's because it's not on us, bro. Think about all the work you put in, bro. Just hosting lives and dropping information, Jazz. I done heard you. I've been doing this shit for 3 years. Tyra, I done heard you. I done heard a bunch of. I can name all people all day, and that's just on here. But first off, we've been doing this stuff outside of TikTok. Let's get that straight. But the whole point is now you bring the whole entire outside of TikTok fight to your front door. You are literally the ones who have to prove that something was done to you. Okay, so like divide, right? Let's say we had a business together, right? You ran off with some money. I have to prove that you were legitimately doing business with me and then did something janky and ran off with this money before I can take a case and be like, he owed me. And if I can't, that means I'm the one committing fraud because I'm doing a fraudulent act against you. You see what I'm saying? So it's like now they messed up so bad to where, bro, we can shut up now. We can stop talking right now and then let them do this, which the only reason why they're doing it is because we won't stop talking. That's the only reason why they even trying to make it seem like they're going to do something.
Right.
This is people who literally want smoke but do not want to touch fire.
Hell yeah, that's why they got
That's all
called
this
their
is.
big homie. They had to get a big homie on us, the BIA. The big homie.
And look who runs the BIA. Y'all literally go right now, y'all.
All
And
right,
go look up who are the leaders of that fucking organization right now and what do they look like.
Uh-huh.
The same ones who run every other organization that's supposed to have something to do with you. Black Lives Matter. Who was that ran by? The NAACP. Who started that? Everything that puts you in a black double continental lane.
Edith?
Yeah, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, you sound way different.
Okay, it's probably my Bluetooth or something. I'm in my car, but I just wanted to respond to the prompt because this is something that actually deeply disgusts me. I made a video about it like a couple weeks ago because I was just like, okay, so these Wabo Slayers want to get all up in our face and start these meaningless TikTok battles with us. Meanwhile, they're 1% of the population, right? It's 5,000 of them missing, and 74% of them are children, and they're not doing nothing about it. They take one day out of the year to focus all their attention on the missing Native American women and children that, we don't know what did happen to them babies. It's like it's not enough of them giving them a voice. You understand? Their men are succumbing to, drinking. They doing whatever they want to do to the women. You know what I'm saying? They going through all of this stuff. The government is who is attacking them directly and stripping them of their rights directly. They going through all of this stuff. Obesity. You know what I'm saying? No self-defense classes, no anti-trafficking protocols. There's no call to arms. Every other day they coming on TikTok talking about, oh, my ancestors said that they gonna come get us and we need. But okay, so y'all just gonna let them? So y'all just gonna let them beat y'all up? Y'all not preparing for WAR or nothing? See, what I love about myself and my people is that you don't never gotta tell us nothing about ourselves. Whenever I hold Native Americans accountable, which is what I think is the best thing when it comes to this, they always want to clap back and say, oh, what about y'all? What about y'all missing? You ain't got to worry about it because we already on that. Anybody we lost, we know their names and we repeat them constantly like a mantra. We already got our self-defense classes together. It's a bunch of Black indigenous men out here making sure that they strap. So it's no excuse for these people. It's really no excuse. You want to sue us, but y'all don't do nothing. You don't do nothing about the people who are actually colonizing y'all. I find that so gross. A Wabo Slayer when it's people out here hunting y'all women and children, y'all not doing nothing about it. That's disgusting to me. And I feel like they should be held accountable for that every single time they feel like they want to step up to us.
In fact, Eden, since you say
Can I say something as a Tyrone before you speak? Because I'm glad that she finally got clear, because they were like,
Yes,
you know,
ma'am.
we have similar tribes, right? And they were like, let her speak, and then she came up and it was all muted or whatever. But that is my point too, right? You know what's so crazy? Like when I think of the crab in a barrel allegory, right? Our community, right? You'll be like, oh, those people who get out the community and they go do this thing with it. But when they come back because of that crab in the barrel syndrome.
Right.
And it is not just the way they describe it. One of my favorite friends, TikTok friends, spiritual friends is always like, no, we're like the three little bears, but we're the little bear just right. And when you think about that in every situation, right? When it comes to Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, copper colored, Redskins, Indigenous, we're admits. And everyone is like, why are they so confused? Because we're everything. We're literally the alpha and omega. We have every genetic within our genealogy. That's why when you look at epigenetics and you think about how can we meet in the middle? You can't meet in the middle if you're freaking inbred. You're just inbred. Whether that's extremely pale or extremely cursed or whatever. I think that makes the most sense. I'm gonna land there for a second. I can keep going.
Yeah, it's like they infantilize themselves, they babify themselves. Every other day you gotta hear about how Native Americans are the most oppressed and they go through the most stuff. Well, for people that go through the most stuff, they don't do nothing about it, and they wait on the government to give them handouts. But that's what they accuse of us. That's what they accuse us of. But it's like, how are y'all babifying yourselves that much?
They don't feel looking we got this
you hit the nail on the head with that one,
casino, we have no values.
For
Like, are
example,
y'all like babies?
Nothing but my check and my
Hold on, let's let Tyron go. What's up, Injured?
when they speak of this crime data table, right? They always deflect and say, "Oh, what about y'all community? Y'all got black on black crime, right?" Okay, what about this Hispanic and Latino on Native crime that's going on? Because these are the main, and also YT men. These are the main perpetuators of SA trafficking and drug trafficking, not Black Americans, because Black Americans do not live in close proximity to these Mongol Sound natives on the reservation. So what's going on mostly is Native on Native crime, YT on Native crime, and Latino Hispanic on Native crime, and they let these people into the res. Like, they had a whole article and news on the news talking about how the BIA couldn't do anything about these illegal immigrants and stealing Native women and stealing Native children and bringing them below the border.
They keep unaliving each other, right?
Yeah,
I'm glad you guys are bringing this out to the forefront. They are the smallest community and disproportionately unaliving each other.
And also you have Native incels or Hispanic Latino incels that have Black people living rent-free in their minds, like Ricardo Lopez, the Bjork stalker, if y'all familiar with that case in the 90s, where he sent a mail bomb over to this singer. That's a terrible Scottish singer. That he sent there to the UK because she was in a relationship with a Black man by the name of Goldie Taylor. And you also have Jeffrey Weiss up in Red Lake, Minnesota, I think, or Red Bank, Minneapolis. I'm not familiar with the area, but he deleted his class, and he deleted his uncle, who is a YT man, and his auntie, who is a native, for no reason, just because he thought of himself as a reincarnation of a Nazi brown shirt. And he deleted his class.
Can anyone bring up that image of the Nazi on the Native Americans?
He deleted his student body because most of the Native people on that res participate in Black American culture, and he didn't like that because he was a shut-in, an outcast, an antisocial, emo type kid that was listening in the horrorcore and stuff like that. They was trying to blame it on YT's version of our horrorcore hip hop, but he went and did that because
Nation,
his
right?
people rejecting him for his antisocial behavior and blaming it on Black people that is nowhere near him.
Ariana. There's swastika loving eugenic tethers, the original tethers from
Thank you for the follow, Kiki. We got Ish up here.
So we should be the last of their concerns when it comes to like
You should
data or them trying to kick us off the res, because they should be looking into these YT people or these Hispanic and Latinos that they let on the res. And also this goes all the way back where they get this WABO stuff from. You remember the North Dakota pipeline incident? It was out there protesting and stuff. Well, they blamed that whole situation on how the police was hemming them up and putting them in dog cages and spray paint. What's that? Pepper spraying them in the
pepper spraying them. It was those $5 Indians they led to their tribe. They had dog stuff, right? Yeah.
So during that, they was trying to blame it on Yanaz the Lone Wolf Hill, who's Lakota herself. They was calling her a government agent, and you had Hemok Sheila go up there, and he showed his support, and also the Nation of Islam, Riza Islam showed up over there, and they was trying to blame it on them folks, and also harassing us online and Facebook, such as African Americans Ain't African, and all these Aboriginal platforms and Moorish platforms. They was calling us
Indian, like let's
all stuff with white supremacists in their groups and fake white people and fake natives and all types of Mongol style natives spewing hate speech, anti what's that man name that got shot? Eric Garner and Tamir Rice. It was talking all types of racist stuff on their platforms.
Can you not say Jocelyn first in the chat? Don't say the S word.
No, excuse my French. Well, they were also, and one of their main perpetuators was Lance Brown Eyes. I don't know if he's still alive. Rumor has it he got deleted off the earth by his own people on the res. I don't know if he's still out there, but he was the main perpetuator of starting this racist stuff online with Fry Bread Factory and Red Handed. And they removed his platform off of Facebook because of his own anti-Black racism. So this is where they get all this Weibo stuff, and because you got a lot of Pan-Africans sitting up there putting on the capes and the S's on their chests to say these individuals because their African story is getting threatened, because nobody's paying attention to this Pan-African stuff no more after Sinetta in that polite situation with him going to jail for, essaying a little girl. And so
what the hell?
This is what we gotta deal with.
Go ahead, Firewalker.
This is the reason why they call you Wabo, okay? Because they don't have a nickname for you that they want to call derogatory that doesn't have a link to something noble about you. That is unnoble in its existence and its origins is double continental, African American, okay, and Black. That's the only two that they can call you. It doesn't have some type of noble stance behind it. Because if you study migration periods, migration routes, all that kind of stuff, we closely resemble genetically, phenotypically, the people in Papua New Guinea. the people in the Ottoman Islands and even the asteroid more so than we do any of them other people that they claim us to be. They literally can't call you nothing. This one, what's the other one? Hell, calling you a Negro, calling you the hard R. Go look up Negas, Negras, the Nagas. Okay, there's nothing they can call you. This is why I said when they take this to court, bro, all of the online insults, all of the online terminology that is going to be wrapped up in etymology and origin of name, because that's what they use when you go to court and you start talking legalese, they won't be able to withstand none of this. This is why I say they don't have a case. Their whole entire case will be done for before we even go there to present anything. Because once you put this stuff into the public domain, which we've already done by keeping it on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, and everywhere else, y'all understand that this is the public domain. All this is feasible in court. All of it. So they don't have a real case, bro. It's crazy. Everything that they say is going to connect us to a set of some Aboriginal, indigenous, royal, noble, Confederate, tribe.
Like, you know what's so funny
soldiers.
about this? Like, I am so certain about this, right? I'm not in any court case. I cannot wait. Like, I want someone to be like, well, yeah, Jasmine's there. I cannot wait to sit here and be like, you have literally played in our face for the amount of time that you put a spell on us. I can't wait to prove it. I cannot wait for it. And not only that, because there are some people who are just, you know, I don't know, the rat types or whatever, the coon, I can't say it because I get blocked all the time. But those people who are like Porsche niggas or whatever, like, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to prove this with every being of my genealogy. Because if you understand technology, like when you understand technology and you go research and just are a person of high spirituality, right? When it comes to big bank takes little bank, it's not about money. It's about what are you even doing? Why would you go against people who could help you? People who really, for the most part, are very fair. I'm so tired of sitting here and being humble to people who are freaking rats. I'm gonna land my plane there.
For sure. Yeah, come up here, Jermaine. Like it's always a melanated Yahtzee that want to cape for folks attacking other melanated people.
Or melanated minstrel.
Yeah, melanated minstrel, double M's.
Y'all gotta think. Why would they not? These new people that we argue with are brand new people who literally just started existing on the planet less than 1,000 years ago. Most of them, for real. Variations of them have existed throughout time, but the ones that we deal with on a consistent basis are only a couple hundred years old. Everybody else that was your enemy, bro, throughout all of time, got some pigment to them, got some melanin in his skin, a little dark, but realistically, bro, it's always been the dark. It's a black hand for a reason. Let's not forget about that. Like when we was talking about, Tyrone was talking about the triple K earlier. Go research the triple K for real. See how many black hands you see in these pictures.
Yeah,
wasn't fake.
KKK literally did.
I'll be back, y'all.
Form the five civilized tribes, as we know, because Albert Pike was literally running the show with the Prince Hall Masons and some of these Mongol style, Mestis style.
Yo, Tyrone, could I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, they say that the 13 families that run the world, you know, they say
they're all
no. Families
that run the world.
Listen, I understand what you're saying. The 13 families are. I understand what you're saying. The 13 families are Apache.
Not all of them.
It's a red herring.
Top,
They're
the
trying
top
to throw us
three.
off. Bro, they're just the pawns. They're the ones we're supposed to be looking at and giving them the most grief. The
The-
ones that we need to be looking at is the ones that we can't really see. The ones that's not in the front, you know, on TV and stuff. It's the motherfuckers with them
So
black.
we don't know who
hands.
they are, but
Yes,
they
we
have
do.
said,
We know them
they
by
have
we
said
No,
that
no, no. Listen,
even
there's
that
a
know
there's
them
a
by name.
Say
We know
something.
where they live.
I relate to that. Now we shouldn't
No.
be looking at there's no black ruler.
Yes,
No, hold
there
on,
is.
no,
Our
no,
presidents are
hold on,
black.
hold on,
They're
hold
from
on.
Spain.
No, there's no black ruler. We are
Oh,
not in
those.
control. No,
Listen,
we're not.
you know
Hold
that there's a
on. Can I
Moorish
say my
man.
piece?
There's a Moorish
We're
man's name
not.
on
No,
the
we're not the
American
more.
title.
We're not in control of anything. It's
No,
the
it's
white.
not us.
No, it's the
Listen, they're
white
not from here.
people.
They're foreigners.
It's
They're
the
black
white
foreigners
people,
from
the
Africa.
no, no,
pelvis.
no. Some of the people that pull in the streets
I'm
are
not gonna lie,
not
cause
black.
Jazz, I'm not gonna lie. That's what you gotta.
So you're gonna say that it's it's us black people who are in
No,
control?
it's not us. Listen,
It's
they
not
look like
us.
us.
It's like
Look
some
right,
more.
they look like us.
It's
but they're
exactly what
not.
I just said earlier. There are
Right.
That's what
Listen,
he
they're
was
from
saying. So
Africa
he's
and
saying
Spain.
that
They got
he's
kicked from
basically
Africa.
saying that we're the worst, black Americans. And
No,
He
we're
didn't
not
say
black
black Americans.
or
I
a black
never said
elite. Well,
that.
who are the black elite? The
I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Spaniards or
I'm
the
gonna
Portuguese?
tell you where they live and everything. They live
Okay.
inside upstate New Jersey, upstate New York, because they think that is New Jerusalem. That's why they call it New Jersey and New York. That's where they live. They live
I
in
believe
those
there was
gated
the
communities.
Tartarian government. Remember Tartaria?
Dog, I'm not. No, stop trying to throw us off, man. We ain't talking about no goddamn Tartaria.
Yeah.
We're talking
That is,
about.
Putin
Listen, these
said
folks are from. Listen, they were so vile. They got kicked from Spain. They got kicked from Africa. And they got kicked from Europe. And then they came over here and started 1492.
I'm not throwing no one off, but Putin just releases information. He released that information.
Sir, what does that have to do with anything that you just brought up? Why did you bring that up? If they had some black members in the 13 families, how are they in control? They're not. That's an irrelevant issue.
That pull the
The
strings.
main people, hold on, the main people that are in charge of the whole thing are mostly of European descent. Let's not distract.
Okay, so what
from who owns
define
us.
European descent? Because we have to be careful about this, bro. Because like just having this conversation goes
You're
back
not
to
even being careful about it because you're saying it on TikTok Live.
that's the whole point of
Just be
being
specific.
careful part. What I'm saying is that's like saying the people who sailed over here first look like your palm colored people. These are people who was placed into a position. There's a public 13 families that they release to tell you about, and then there's another 13 set of families. And if you do research on those families are of dark pigmentation. Dark pigmentation does not equal Black American. It equals dark pigmentation. The same
Yeah, that's what I
difference in the
mean.
fact that we're not the Africans, and they're originally dark pigmented. We're not the Asians, and they're originally dark pigmented. We're not the what we're talking about. The real rulers are same rulers that have always been rulers.
Can I say something? You're literally saying like, here's our computer code. These are the differences between these people and these people and these people and these people.
From ancient
So if you're
Sumerian.
saying, so hold on, can you just give me a second to say this? You're saying that this is the difference. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And you say it over and over again. And then people come over here and they challenge you with it and you get stronger, whatever. And you say it in public, you're playing tic-tac-toe and not chess. Do you not
Well,
understand?
what do you disagree about, Jasmine?
You saying it so loud over and over again, and you're talking to people that you know are not your clan. These are people who are cosplaying us.
It's not
These
gonna
are people
matter.
they're cosplaying us.
But sis, it doesn't matter.
Listen,
Because
they're
just like
It
we were
does
talking about
matter
earlier,
because you're telling you're telling
you're
them
telling
our
them
game plan.
hold on. There's
You're
not
telling them
listen,
our
this is
game
not a
plan.
game. The truth.
No.
Listen,
The facts
wait.
are.
I'm gonna let me speak for myself, y'all. The truth is not a game plan. The facts are not a game plan. The truth and the facts are the truth and the facts, which is gonna be stuff that if they try
They
to
have
present any
no
of this in
soul.
court,
You're
Sis,
telling them
calm
how to
down for 2 seconds
defeat
and let me
you.
finish. They don't know how. There's no defeating you
You
anymore.
have
That
no
doesn't.
soul. You're
There's not
telling them
going
how
to
to
be a
copy
defeat
you.
in you anymore. If you believe that you can be defeated again,
How
can
to
be a
copy
defeat
you.
in you.
It's on me.
We
It's on
cannot be
you.
defeated
It's on
again.
you because you're sitting here telling them how to defeat you.
What do you do when you go on your lives and you ask ChatGPT certain stuff? Does ChatGPT not release information which is going to be considered something that they could use at some point in time? It's the
No,
exact same thing. There's no difference
on
between
my
what I'm
lives.
doing
What
and
I talk
what they
about
do.
is very specific. I don't talk about low level stuff. Like here are freaking game plans.
I mean,
No.
Jasmine, MLK was a
How?
Freemason.
Hold on, wait.
MLK was a Freemason.
Wait.
This is how
What?
you freaking get us at our very basic level of
What
like,
is
hey,
what is telling that?
very basic level of
What
like,
is
hey,
what is telling?
them,
What is that
so
doing?
you're basically for everybody when you feel like, hey, well, here are our freaking guidelines and stuff.
No,
What is
no,
that? No. How?
What
Wait,
we're trying to
y'all. I'm
do-
having a conversation where I need to understand this. I don't need to argue. I don't want to go back and forth. I need to understand how knowing this information, and we're not the only ones who know it because we're definitely not the only ones who talk about it, is giving them anything.
Because what you already know doesn't need to be exposed because
They
it's
already
giving.
know what we're saying.
You
They
won't
know
even
it's
let me
true.
finish saying my
But
final
listen,
thought, right?
listen,
I
our
keep
enemies know
listening
that
and
it's
you
true.
keep pivoting. Can I just give one final thought? And you know, you can continue. Like I can't control you guys, but I will say this: I always come back again and again because I care about my people.
We're telling you the truth, baby.
Can I
Listen,
just
these
tell you?
folks look just like us. That's why it was
Oh
so
my
easy
God!
for them to
So
find
you know
these
what?
people.
Whatever. I loved it here. I hope you continue to
Well,
give
have a
out
nice
all
one.
of our secrets. Bye.
Not a secret.
Jasmine, MLK was a Freemason. Like for real.
Have a,
For real. He was a Freemason.
nobody cares.
So to respond, for one, they already know what we're talking about. You got a whole lot of Pan Africans ratting to the Native
Right.
Americans and ratting to white people about YT people. I'm sorry about what we're doing, and it's blowing up in their own face because they can't stop the momentum of Black Americans reclaiming their land, reclaiming reparations, restitution, reciprocity, all of that. It's no secret. She even said this shit to me. Ma'am, it's not a secret. It's already out there. They've been talking about this behind our backs while we was on this Africa stuff, this apartheid stuff, this Egypt stuff, Atlantis move, Moorish, Hebrew, Israelite, all these different ideological factions to get your eye off the ball.
There you
I'm
go.
talking about you being an Indian. So again, it's not a secret. We get our information from them same YT people that's in academia that's talking about and having these discussions amongst themselves. So what you mean a game plan? What do you mean?
I mean, Tyrone, the elite, they're underground already. They spent $21 trillion on underground city.
For one, sir, the white supremacy believes in both sides the argument. The white supremacy believes in both sides the argument. It's just that it's us that we don't under semantics games and understanding how they play Hegelian dialect and double speak by reading their law books, by reading up on their own papers and studies, talking about how, oh, this person right here, this must be an Africoid, or this person right here, this must be a Negro. We already understand what they're saying back then. That's because back then at the time we weren't allowed to read their language. But now that we have access to their computer devices and books and backtracking this stuff and asking the right questions, there's no defeating us at this point. There's nothing but going up now because they're all realizing that all the lies are being unraveled. I land at that.
Well, and the only reason why we went to go learn how to read English, that is, the only reason why we went to go learn English is so that we can make like, you know, make petitions to get these efforts off our land, and to go ahead and learn how to speak legalese and learn how to send a letter to the government, learn how to send an eviction letter inside their language. The only reason why we went and learned English.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. We already knew English.
I know
It
we
was a
did. It's
commerce
called
language
urban,
behind us,
but
so
it's not. But
that's there's a
no,
difference between
but
learning English
they
and then
did
learning
make it
legalese.
illegal
You're
for us to
correct
read
if
them
you're
right.
saying learn legalese. You're right. You're 100% right. If you're just saying learn English, learn new English. That's something we gotta. It's just
But it
certain
was
stuff that we
definitely
gotta.
not a first language of all of ours at all.
It doesn't, and I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about knowing it and then knowing it for hundreds of years
But
before it
many
was
of us
ever a
didn't have
thing.
it as a second
Bro,
language.
just let me finish my
Most of us,
sentence, bro. I'm not jazz. I'm not against you. I'm not telling you not to say nothing. I'm not doing none of that. I'm just
but it's taken
adding
away
something.
from what I'm saying.
It's not taken away from it. It's just an understanding that to have it be that we just learned it just to deal with them in court is something that would have only happened in the last 200 to 300 years. We were speaking this before the last 200 or 300 years. It was just another form of it. They took it over there after performing
Or
commerce with us when they were still speaking dramatic languages, and then converted it into a common thing, a common tongue to communicate with us, so they could legally take over certain stuff. Then they could start writing laws in the language that we were speaking for commerce, because it was a commerce thing. It was a money thing. It was a money ploy for them.
Yo,
So you just have to
Firewall.
be,
Firewall.
you
They
know,
said the Aztecs and the Mayans said the Spanish and English is one of the newest languages on the planet.
yeah, for sure.
Spanish definitely is. English is, yes, it's new as in it was a commerce language. Before we was over here dealing with anybody else selling anything, shipping, owning the seaports, because really that's what we did. We didn't need it. So
Yeah,
we
can we
had
actually talk about
individuals, and
that?
it's just like having different dialects inside your home. You can be in the same state as a group of people, and y'all still say stuff or but family ties, family lines.
It's not just 1,000 people who claim a tribe. It was people that actually was related to each other. You know what I'm saying?
People in the request, my bad.
Yeah, brothers and cousins and shit.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah, he
more
got
to
that
it.
right. I'm African. Is he African?
It's who?
Nah, baby, ain't nobody up here African gang.
Hello? What'd she say? My volume is
Ma'am,
low.
there's nobody up here that's African.
David. No.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the same David.
This this thing is so funny to me. Native
Thank
Americans.
you for letting me up, Darvin.
No
Native
problem. Yeah, my
Americans.
bad. I wasn't at my phone. Where
But
the
he's
moderators at?
correct. People want to say tribes this. You guys know the tribes of Judah, right? They come from one father. So how the whole tribes thing started in Africa is Africans, they marry more than one wife. So within that wife, you have like several sons, and those sons are not going to be with their father. They're gonna go in different areas. Like you have maybe they're gonna go in Atlanta.
What do you identify as?
What is going on? What is this identify thing? I'm
What
just
like Darvin, we gotta play that song.
What are
Her
you talking
theme
about?
song.
like the white
No,
people.
what is your background?
The white people give us labels,
We're
identification.
not worried about the white folks. I'm just asking you where you come from.
I'm from Sierra Leone, and no, I'm not the ones who they sent back.
Okay,
I'm
where your family from?
You from Cereal?
Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone.
Oh, my bad.
We didn't give that name to ourselves either. The white people did, so maybe that's why I can't pronounce it well.
I think I'm muted on the live.
Huh?
I think they got me muted on the live to type in the chat.
Everybody's speaking together. I didn't hear your question.
Let me see if you muted. Can't even see if you're muted.
I was just saying that we not.
You are muted.
We not on a Pan African move. We don't bump that Pan African junk. I ain't saying it's junk, but I'm just saying that's not what we on 2025 and moving forward.
That's fine, but I don't know why you guys are saying this tribe is against. It's pretty much brothers against each other, fighting for lands or inheritance of. I mean, that's why you have so many.
It's not that one dimensional. I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's not that one dimensional. These folks got kicked out of everywhere they was, and they just looking for some land, and they sacked us. Okay, they sent the Inquisition, to spy on us and
Hey,
make us
Kula
push shit?
Masia, Osio, Chamo Ngabo, Alito. Yeah, what's up?
Okay, yeah. So they came over here and spied on us through the Spanish Inquisition, and then we got sacked. Okay, so so it's definitely war. That's what it was. It wasn't us brotherly love.
WAR.
It wasn't no rough loving. Them folks murdered our women and children.
You can't
I'm
say
sorry.
that either.
I'm sorry to say that. I'm sorry to say that. I'm going to say
Where?
unalive.
Where in America?
Yes. Do you know about the Califia queens that was on Alcatraz Island?
Yeah, I'm about to drop you and bring you back up since you said
Okay.
that. Like, yeah, y'all can't be saying too many trigger words on how to clear the stage. Y'all, that might be that request up. That might be my favorite
I don't
activity
know
on
nothing
TikTok.
he's talking about.
I get on live just to sweep the panel. Nah, let me stop. But
I mean,
I don't know anything he's talking about.
I mean, you're not. You said you're not from here, right?
I mean,
You're from Sierra Leone in Africa, correct?
I was raised here
who's the expert here?
You was raised where?
in the U.S.
Okay, so how much of your time when you were being raised did you get taught of American history, like that you were actually able to research and look up?
Well, I got taught their history, and I
I'm
went
about to
and
make a
found
sweep the panel
my
song.
history and actually BLK history on my own that they're not teaching us. So I don't know the other deeper ones of like what do you guys say? You guys have some really deep history about your people coming here and originals of the land. I mean, I believe
Ask you
that.
this question, Abisada. Are you a Aboriginal Native African, or are you a descendant of a Black American that immigrated to Africa during the antebellum or slavery time?
Do you even know what an Aboriginal is?
Yes, I do. It means a first
Never.
inhabitant.
Okay, so sorry. If I migrated? So BLK people are nomads. They've migrated, but they started in Africa. They migrated to all parts of the
I didn't
world.
ask Darwinism. I said, are you in particular, do you know about your own genealogy? Are you a native, indigenous, aboriginal of that continent called Africa in that particular Sierra Leone, what you just said? Or are you one of those Black Americans who descend from America that immigrated over there and had your own progeny in Africa? Which one are you?
No, I'm a native of Africa, but I did migrate to Sierra Leone. My family migrated from Sierra Leone, from Guinea, from Mali, the Malian Empire, and we were first like in the east doing the Arabic slave trade. We migrated to the west that they call the Bantu migration, which is their own lie about it, but
What's your tribe?
well, my blood lineage comes from the Mandingo, from west, but my tribe can trace all the way back to East Africa.
Okay, great, Miss. No disrespect. What do you and your lineage got to do with anything with Black Americans and what we talking about?
You guys are the one asking me the questions. I wasn't talking about my lineage.
Yeah, but you came up here like you had a point, and then you just shifted the whole conversation for what we was talking about. So what's the
No,
deal?
I was trying to talk about the Native Americans once to Sioux, but he was talking about tribes, so I just stepped on it. You guys are the one asking me about my tribes and stuff. I didn't come on here talking about me.
No, because I said that because you identified as Hebrew Israelite stuff. I wanted to know, what do you descend from? What's your genealogy? Because we're all here. We're repping our specific tribes here in the Americas. A lot of people don't understand that we are actually from here and we're not some fake wannabe anything. We have legitimate ties to these tribes because they were involved in the transatlantic slave trade. But people that's like the Native Americans that want to sue us, they want to deny this fact that Indians were absorbed into our population and created us.
So does the modern day Native Americans, where did they come from?
Ooh, can I answer that?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, okay. So when those brothers, I guess you can call them, when they decided to came over here, they had their slaves with them, and it just so happened to be them. So they came over here when, and you would call these folks Huns and Vedics, and so these folks are, Asiatic, right? And they were their slaves because they've been fighting them for years over inside of Africa, or I'm sorry, Spain, I believe. And so they just brought them over here and gave them chief title. Made them full-blooded, Indians. That's where they came
Okay,
from.
so they came from the
It's a
Spain
multi.
area.
It's a multifaceted answer, honestly, because they
Well,
got
yeah,
different.
because they
Hold on. Like they got different origins. Like some of them, so like some people that are Indian that are in the that are in federally recognized tribes, they're considered Native Americans. You can be an Indian, and if you're in a federally recognized tribe, that means you call yourself a native. Native American. Some came from Siberia, some came with Genghis Khan, right? Some came over later, the Trans-Pacific trade. Some actually are American Indian, have American Indian ties. So
Some
some are
came from
white,
Ellis Island.
some came from
Are
exactly.
you
So it's a
guys related to
multifaceted.
them?
Some of us are, yes, or they do.
And they hide it.
This is real
Why
quick,
are they
y'all,
hiding
just because you
it?
put it up here, right? This is for reference when it comes to this ab situation, because I've been tired of hearing this for years. I know we had an elder who made a video in the 80s about ab, but he went with the reference to Latin. Latin is not one of our original languages. Latin is one of the languages of the people who took us over. So in Paleo Hebrew, ab is a reference to father. Now, should it be a patriarchal reference? Maybe not. Maybe not. But it's father, seed, parent of a language, a people. So we got to grow. Ab is a reference to father. Now, should it be a patriarchal reference? Maybe not. Maybe not. But it's father, seed, parent. Oldest languages. Period. It means a source of, seed from. It doesn't mean anything about to be opposite of. The whole opposite of is a concept that people who took us over added into language later to give us no room to use the terminology anymore. So that's all that was. We can go back to the language if you want.
So why is it that they don't want to recognize you guys?
We don't give a fuck if they want to recognize us or not. That's the thing. Y'all so worried about what they think about us. We don't give a fuck.
You were
Yeah, we
literally
don't.
every word that we're speaking up here, almost every other word is a Latin word. So I don't know why you're like, oh, that's a Latin.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
we're speaking
I'm
Latin
not
right
talking.
now.
But listen,
You're
that's not what
speaking
I'm
Latin
talking
right
about.
now.
That's fine. That's current terminology. I'm talking
Exactly.
about
We are
etymology
speaking a
and
current
or
language. You're
Venus,
speaking a Latin-based language right
Venus,
now. So
Venus,
if you're using Aboriginal,
Venus,
you're speaking English. You were
Venus.
saying opposite.
The term exists predating Latin. Period.
The term
That's
Aboriginal does
all.
not exist pre-Latin. What are
The
you talking
ab
about?
section of what y'all keep complaining about, the part of the word that y'all keep saying means something else, predates Latin. It is before Latin. We
It
were
doesn't matter. You
Paleo
were speaking
Indians.
Latin right now.
It doesn't
You were
matter
literally
about that.
speaking Latin.
Okay, so listen, divide.
Speak Hebrew then.
Darby, do we not have a big thing about talking about the origins of things, right?
Okay, then
Let's think.
speak Hebrew.
I'm not
Why are you?
Venus.
You're
I'm talking
speaking
to the
Latin
host,
right now.
please. I'm talking to the host.
Speak
I
Hebrew.
understand you're here for smoke controls. That's fine,
Speak
but I'm talking to
Hebrew.
the host. I'm talking to the host.
Okay, so I'm talking because you were up here before me.
Oh, brother.
You were talking to
Bro,
Darvin, so
so she has control.
you are speaking Latin. Every word that comes out your mouth is Latin.
So I mean,
based.
she's a moderator, but let him land. Let him talk to me. Like,
So
what?
there's no other excuse.
Yeah, I mean, you
Lie.
literally came on here hot for no reason. Like
Being
I'm
a-
saying something that's incorrect, wrong, a lie. I'm not saying nothing
So
that's
let's not.
wrong.
I
I'm not
did
saying
invite
nothing
him.
that's a lie. I'm not saying nothing that's not true. So you can have your own interpretation of what I'm saying and try to have smoke for no reason if you want to. That's fine.
You're speaking Latin right now.
But what does that matter when the word and the term itself has nothing to do with that? So you're going to take the Latin, which is a more modern, and we know it's from a colonizer's tongue, and use that and say that that's what it is when there's something that predates it with the same exact terminology for the same word. Ab is still there. It's telling you what it is. You can pull it up and put it on the screen. That it's still telling you what it is, predating the terminology that you want to use. Because everybody is speaking one language in a congruence, because so we can understand each other on a panel, doesn't have anything to do with the origin of where it's from. Has
I will
nothing
say-
to do with the origins.
I will say this, and this is me. This is me being added a broader perspective. Is Paleo Hebrew actually even ancient?
Not as ancient. It's ancient, but not as ancient.
Has anybody
Sumerian.
deciphered Paleo Hebrew?
Their languages before that. And this is what I mean. People be picking and choosing what words they.
Hebrew?
Did anybody decipher Paleo Hebrew? That's what I'm asking.
Paleo or not, it's still, even if Hebrew is still still
Hebrew,
the same.
Hebrew is Germanic. It's a Germanic language. It's Yiddish and Germanic. Yeah, like well, Hebrew literally comes from Yiddish language. The Yiddish language is Germanic.
So is there like DNA where they can prove they are the natives of Americas?
So yeah, hold on
They're
one second.
not.
Even
They're from Siberia and Mongolia, in Russia. Some of them.
But yeah, as I was saying, but yeah, it's like Paleo Hebrew, because the Paleo Hebrew is mostly fucking pictograms and shit. The same with the Medu Neter. Has anybody ever deciphered the Medu Neter? Like,
Words are the same words are used in different languages and they have different meanings. You're speaking English right now, so if you're going to use the word ab, I'm just telling you it means opposite. If you want to speak Hebrew, then speak Hebrew. But what you're saying right now, that doesn't fit in English. So
but yeah, I just be posing these questions because we talk about ancient languages. Like, are a lot of these languages actually ancient, or is shit just made up recently?
Arvin, remember your whole panel got mad at me because I was asking how they know that the languages they're talking about are ancient. Like, why are you getting mad at me because I asked a question? Like, what?
I don't know, man. You know,
It's
how
like
folks-
saying, how does nobody not know if English is ancient or not? English might be ancient. It's fuck. In comparison to the date that it was given to you, by not the date it was given to you, but the date that they say that YTs came up with it, which is not true because they didn't even exist.
Well, my point on that live was they were like, oh, the words you speak, they have frequencies. And if you say the wrong thing, that's a low frequency. You're putting a curse on yourself. And I'm like, okay, so how do we know that would have been considered high frequency in ancient times? How do you know that? Were you there? How do you know that?
They tell us it's Phoenician, so they say, okay, but has anybody deciphered Phoenician languages? That's a whole different rabbit hole. I know we got off topic. I don't believe
Basically,
they.
I'm just saying, like, it depends on the intention you put on the word. So.
Yeah, because I don't believe they decipher any of these quote unquote pictograms. That's just my thing.
It's all assumptions.
Yeah, people just
For the topic,
making shit.
because she was questioning us about Native Americans DNA or something like that, or
Aren't the
you talking about her, John? You talking about her?
he was
the
asking us.
Hispanic, aren't they Aboriginals also?
Who's Aboriginal?
The Hispanics, aren't they are you guys related to them?
Is Hispanic the race?
Hispanic means mestizo.
Hispanic means from a Spanish-speaking country. That's all Hispanic means.
Yeah, it means mestizo. It means you
Not a
mixed up
race.
between
Hispanic,
South
not a race.
Americans. How about that? The South Americans, they're mixed with some of the
Yeah,
natives.
there's
too.
they're quote unquote Aboriginal South Americans. Yes.
So they're Native Indians.
Yeah. Like, I don't tell people where they are. Like, yeah, they Native Indians in South America. Yeah.
With
The way we
of
have
mixed
races here in the
bloodlines.
USA, they have different races over there in South America. So I don't understand what that question
And on
is.
top of that,
Well,
them
they're
South
your
Americans,
relatives, right?
Abisada, those people in South America, Latin America, Central America, and the European bloodlines, they are not full-blooded Indian. Only the ones that can say, oh, that they're using as a quote-unquote full-blood standard is some bush Mongols. They got Australoid genetics in them. So technically, they're not really the full blood. It would be us that's the full blood.
We
Because
had the Olmecs. Remember the Olmecs?
not just the Olmecs, bro, but it genetics wise, they're in craniometrics, they show that Paleo Indians have Black American
are mutations of us. So it's not just a out of Africa theory. It's really different black groups in every part of the world that produce these pale pheomelanin recessive groups. Like you got different waves of subhumans like the Neanderthal, the Denisovan, and all those people. They have somewhat genetic traces to Africa, but they're not aboriginal to Africa or anywhere for that matter. And we don't really know where indigenous Africans come from because a lot of your people, you said you are Mandinka, right? Well,
Yeah.
Mandinka in Kabu, they say that they're Asiatics originally. People in Senegal, they said they originate in Hindustan or Bharat, aka modern day India. So a lot of these African tribes, they're not being honest in debunking the out of Africa theory because it's not even talking about black people. It's talking about great apes found in Ethiopia.
Yeah. So we get like the Homo sapiens. So that's what I thought you guys were talking about, like how the Homo sapiens um interbreed with the evidence, and that's how you
What's
guys
up,
came to
Gemini Moon?
right.
We can't what? How we come to be? What you say?
The Homo sapiens and the
Oh,
evidence,
brother.
right? That's how y'all.
Homo
That's how.
sapiens and Dravidians.
Yeah, Davidians. So that's how you guys' race was created.
I remember who Abby is.
Yeah.
Are you saying Dravidians or Denisovans?
Davidians. You know you have the Neanderthals.
Denisovans?
I don't know that. I don't know how to pronounce it. You know how you have the Neanderthals, Homo sapiens, and the Davidians.
Denisovans is not Dravidians. Dravidians are those
Okay.
South Asian black people. That's the
I'm never
Hanuman,
going
Dharma.
to pronounce it right. So hopefully you understand where I'm in. The ones who came to the Americas and then they mixed with the Homo sapiens to create the Indians. They're also in Asia parts, like the India area. So I thought those are the
No, clearly not the
you
same
guys
people.
are talking about, right?
No. I think she's trying to make some distinctive, like, characteristic link between us and natives here. And that's not
Well, I don't
gonna
know
happen because they're
these
not, they're
natives
from
with the
Asia.
lighter skin. They're not melanin, so they're mutation.
No, they did
mutations
have
like
melanin. That's a
okay,
fallacy.
they do, but it's not a lot of it. So they're kind of like
No, it was a lot.
No, there were heavily melanated
who
peoples.
these natives, this white
Hold on,
natives.
hold on, Abisada. Abisada,
listening.
stop.
She's not listening.
These subhuman fossils that they're founding, they were not pale skin. Pale skin does not come from a subhuman. It came from
mutation.
Homo sapiens sapiens. Own mutations such as subcutaneous albinism.
Exactly, and that's why these
Homo
white
sapiens
Native
sapiens.
Americans are not originals because they're mutations.
Exactly.
So I'm just trying to understand. If I'm gonna understand that you guys were the originals here, you must have come from the Davidians, correct?
No, we did not come from no Denisovans. You already had your melanated Homo sapiens on every single continent. They all had the same mutations such as pheomelanin recessive traits and eumelanin dominant traits. It's just that you got whole live YT people that's Darwinists claiming that we came from great apes in East Africa. We started out from having straight hair, pale skin, and then that thing evolved allegedly into the oldest group of Africans, such as the Khoisan that they use as their measurement. And then that Khoisan evolved into a darker skinned Homo sapien. That's what your mainstream science is saying.
Oh,
But
so you
we
guys are saying you didn't
propose-
came from any apes. You guys just originated as humans.
already humans.
And we Africans came from those apes. And
No,
everybody.
Only if you believe
Not
that
come
shit.
from that. Only if you believe that crap.
Nah, we don't believe Africans came from that either. No.
So where do you guys believe they come from? You guys
No,
said
Wherever our tribe,
somebody said
wherever,
we were the
wherever our
exiled
tribe said they
people.
came from, wherever our tribe said they
Said we're the exiled people. I don't know.
No. Everybody has their own oral history from around the globe, and it don't involve falling out of Mighty Joe Young's vagina. They always talk about being eukaryotic cells that came from the waters or the primordial soup, and always were humans, or they refer to themselves as clay golems that were created in the muds that where their ancestors come from in the land that they are till this day. It don't involve no great apes whatsoever.
What you got,
And
Gia?
You mentioned great apes. That is a
I ain't
totally
talking about
separate thing that's tied into fertility, something like Babi or Hanuman, if you get what I'm saying.
Go ahead, Gia. I was about to say I ain't trying to listen too much monkey babble anyway. Go ahead, Gia.
Yeah.
Like have
Off
about
mute. You're on mute.
evolution babble.
Darwinism babble. Make a song out of Darwin, bro.
Damn, that'd be fire.
For the trolls too. What's up? Yep. What's up? Yep.
Feature Korean too. Hey, but the real question: when are we gonna unite? Like as one people, when we gonna unite? Stop the bullshit, you know, as one people.
Whenever people want to stop the bullshit and unite.
To include the Africans?
Because me, I got love for everybody. I love everybody, you know, period.
No, you see, I believe you guys because, like, you guys, a lot of y'all were talking about natives, the real natives or black people in Egypt, and I thought you guys were the craziest people ever. And then stuff just started coming out, DNA and stuff. So I'm like, oh my gosh, these BLK Americans are right. So even though we don't have enough proof that you guys are natives here, I'm sure y'all's proof. I don't know. I think you guys are more working in the downloading thing spiritual way.
Okay, can I don't like to cut people off. I really hate it. But you're talking about we're getting downloads from spirit. No, ma'am. Our mothers, our grandmothers, our great grandfathers, our fathers, our great great grandfathers. They're the ones that's telling us who we are and where our land are. And
Yeah.
where our land is.
Yeah, even
Not
me,
spirit.
my grandparents were telling us that we came from the east, and we didn't understand what they were talking about because we're just going on the books, you know, and what the white men were telling us. And then
I
stuff.
can't sympathize with you. I'm sorry, but I'm telling you that we're not confused. We're not spiritualists. We are realists, and we take the energy that our elders give us, and that's it.
Let's not do the way we talk. Like our folks are spiritual too. Because hold on 1 second. Hold on, let me land. Like there's folks like this genealogy is a spiritual thing too, right? If we break down genealogy, gene, big birth, beget, things like that, ology, the study of, and once you get our root words of gene, you also get words like genius, and Jin, which means a tutelary spirit. So when we're
No,
doing genealogy, we're connecting to our ancestors on a spiritual level and
no,
things
I
like
do.
that. And then the spirit, hold on, god damn. And if we look at spiritual in its definition, right? Spiritual just means anything that's of immaterial. So science would call that antimatter. Antimatter is anything spiritual, right? And then on top of that, spirit just means breath. So yeah, we're doing all these type of things. It's a spiritual and it's a physical thing because both coincide with each other.
True, but we're running out of time, and we're like really at crunch time right now. So I don't think that we
Shit, what?
rely on ourselves at this point. I think that we rely on the ones that came before us.
Yeah, and for us, I don't, we rely heavily on of the truth within. So,
No, I just told you that's not what we do.
okay, well, for me, I'm a spiritual person, you know? So, a lot of the things I believed in spiritually are coming out now.
Our ancestors used to be
Well,
spiritual. All of our ancestors, they were spiritual. All of them.
well, when you say spiritual, like David said, all he's saying is that it's breath. So listen, I haven't came across one person that is standing upright that does not have breath.
Exactly.
So everybody's spiritual, okay? Everybody living and breathing is spiritual. So I don't think that we have to go and say that. It is for itself. It's a misnomer when you go and say I'm spiritual. I know you wouldn't be speaking to me if you were.
I wouldn't.
No, because you
Well,
would
well,
be
me, a
in the
lot of
grass.
my knowledge comes
All right,
from
see you,
a
G.
spiritual place, and I'm just trying to understand. I try to understand everything from a spiritual level first.
Yeah, well, what we try to do is we try to get rid of all the fluff and get straight to the facts, cold hard facts. We don't, you know, um, wish upon a star on a bed. That's not what we do.
Hello, everybody.
What's up, David?
How's the night going?
It's all right.
Okay,
It's all right.
something I want to touch on that I heard someone say earlier about who is controlling of what. I
Yo,
want to
my
tell
bad for
you that
interrupting, but
when you
I'll
say,
catch y'all later, man.
All right, peace.
I just
Y'all
want
be
you
safe.
For sure.
okay, I want you to know that the person who controls this whole entire world is not those 13 families that you think they are. We talk about the Rothschild, Rockefellers, so on and so on. Those aren't the people. When you want to dig deep into wealth, into control, you start at the Pope first because he is the head of the Vatican. And
Okay,
then
David cooking.
Yeah, for real.
it gradually go up, and then you'll come to what we know as the Black Pope and the Gray Pope. They're not those colors because of the color I just said. Those are the outfits they wear, like the Pope they have in front of us, Pope John and all them dressed all in white. He has very little control over anything, if any. And then from here is the Black Pope, and then the Gray Pope. That is the third level of wealth. And then you go into the Moors. They are the next, and the man that's set on the top that is wealth and control is the Blacker Moors. Now, this is what I want you to see. That in the Blacker Moors are melanated people.
Hold on, I had to mute her. You got it, David.
They are melanated people.
Yep.
And did you ever wonder why, when we found out that that Christopher Columbus didn't discover America, but right today his name is still the person that discovered America? And this is why. It is the Colombians that rules this world, and everybody else is just a puppet. They give you your presidents, your prime ministers, your queens, and the whole 9 yards. And these blackamoors are people, they are so rich, but you would never know because when they come out into the world, they come out into your neighborhoods, make you think that you are just like them or they are just like you. And that is their purpose, and that's how they maintain their wealth. And now, Christopher Columbus, I think I mentioned it a couple of nights ago, was a black Spaniard. So, and then when you say that the black man discovered America, of course he did. It was Christopher Columbus. He discovered America, and he was a blackamoor. Had nothing to do with how he treated the Native Americans when he got here. Because even in Christopher Columbus' diary, the people he saw when he landed on the Bay of America, they were dark people with straight black hair, just like a horse tail. So and just to prove that the Columbus is the one who owned this world, have you ever heard of the University of Columbus?
Where?
Or
Which one?
Or Columbus University?
In
Have
Ohio?
you ever
In
heard
Ohio?
yeah. Have you
Okay.
ever heard of have you ever heard of CBS?
Yeah.
Columbus Broadcasting System?
Right.
Everything that you see that start with that C is gonna be from the family of the Columbus.
Yep.
Now I did hear after they started selling it, want to stay on low key, they name have changed, but it still have that Columbiana or something. I can't remember the word now, but they have changed their name to fit into our society, and that is the reason right today, where when the child is second grade, they tell you that Christopher Columbus was the founder of North America, and mainly the rest of the world. My mouth is getting dry. I'm gonna land my plane there.
Appreciate that.
Fire.
Dang, David cooked. Somebody put David in the kitchen. He cooked. Appreciate that. Dang, the live really don't like slow talkers on TikTok.
Oh,
Golly.
for real? That's a crazy word.
Slow and muffled, so I couldn't understand
Oh,
that.
he was
But I
muffled.
put in the chat an idea. If our grandparents are supposed liars and self-haters, why wouldn't the Native Americans elders be liars and self-haters too? So what that means is they sit up here and gaslight us with this whole DNA stuff, saying, "Oh, y'all grandmothers was lying, trying to be ashamed of the African self, coming up with these elaborate Indian stories." Okay, all our elders are liars because they all say the same things that we descend from these indigenous groups. Okay, they went through the same vices that Native Americans went through. They watched Howdy Doody, the Mickey Mouse Club. They thought they could live the American dream. Many of them that left the reservation to go find work in the city, they felt that they could integrate into the white man's society and eat at their lunch counter, drink from their water fountain, and go to the YT restroom, right? They was confused about going to the colored restroom, thinking it was just only for the niggers, right? So why wouldn't these Native Americans be considered liars to their grandchildren as well? Because they went through these same menstrual trappings as our elders, and they possibly hid our bloodlines that's amongst their family tree, and they got YT in their bloodline too, but they got whole lot of NAGPRA and BIA policy that hides the Negroes and a family.
Mm-hmm.
What do y'all have to say about that?
I mean, when it comes to the YT and the bloodline part, they got more of them in theirs than we have in ours because the European that's in most of our bloodlines is not YT. So, you know, that's a whole nother thing. And then for real, if y'all really add up the age of the people that be arguing with us and talking all this smoke on here, it don't be none of the elders. It's people that's in between their late teens and maybe the 40s at furthest. Like I've never talked to any Native American that was over 40 years old on here ever.
Right.
Not one time.
They all busy ducking Day and Callaway.
No, the elders know what's up and they don't say nothing either because they're the same as our elders who used to just be like, we don't talk about that, keep it on the low, because they know there's different aspects behind it. You got us saying don't talk about it because they thought we could just get kicked back off and sent off to the West again and had to go through the dolls and all the rest of that stuff because we chose not to the first time. They say don't talk about it because they know 9 times out of 10, they not supposed to really even be on them lands. They're not supposed to keep it on the low. Or the elder doesn't lie. They don't lie. They know about the grandma in the closet concept. They understand where they really came from and they won't lie. So that's why the elders are never on here. Again, I've never spoke to what I would consider to be a Native American elder. 40 years old is not elder. That's not elder to me. That's older than some people, but that's not elder. That's like, okay, you in OG status now. Midway, you barely middle aged. Elder is 50 plus. Even 45. I don't even think I've talked to a 45-year-old Native American on here. Literally, they've all been under probably 35 years old.
And many of them are living their second childhood. Like they freaky at age 90, chasing for some young tail. They act like us, our generation, and many of these people come from like the baby
How did we get this?
or the silent era.
I don't know. Tyrone went somewhere else.
No,
I was about to say you went somewhere else.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to hear about reservation Diddy parties.
I don't need to do that.
No, but what you gotta say about this, Darby? Because you live in both worlds, bro.
What both worlds? What both worlds I live in?
Bro, you managed to learn the language. You live on a reservation, or you know about it. Like you get to interact with some of these people, right?
Oh yeah, but on the powwows and stuff, like I've been around like the older natives I've talked to, right? Like they'll give you a lot of game. When I was talking to the Lumbee, they talked about their reclassification. I talked to the Piscataway, they talk about the reclassification. When I talked to this Ojibwe woman, she was like, "You already know how some of them look." She was just like, when I told her I was like Powhatan Algonquin, she's like, "Oh yeah, we the same people," type shit. Like it's real cool. Like they real cool at a powwow. Like I talked to this Honey Shoshone brother. He was giving me games about the Honey Shoshone and things like that. Like what it means and like their culture and things like that.
I was just out there. What happened?
You said what?
My bad. I'm talking to somebody in the background. My phone.
Sherelle, you got Sherelle in the building. I talked to some Navajo. I talked to some Lakota. Yeah, they had a woman that looked like us in the Lakota. That was us in the Lakota. They was kind of, I don't know. They was kind of standoffish. Some of the Lakota were standoffish. They had like 2 women that were of us in the Lakota tribe. One was real nice. The other one was kind of like, eh. Like, yeah. I talked to some Yuchi women, like some Yuchi women. They were us. Those were our people that were Yuchi. Thing there. Who else I talked to at a power? I talked to some Eastern Band Cherokee that were us, that were enrolled. There was a Choctaw woman that was us, or Choctaw woman that was there at one, and things like that. It's just a lot. Like they chill, like at a powwow. Nobody's really on like, oh, they ain't gonna press you about nothing at a powwow. For one, they gonna get kicked out, right? For two, like it's all about because anybody can show up to a powwow, like even visitors, because it's more so about the tribes getting money than anything. That's what the powwows are for. It's to financially support the tribes and stuff like that. But yeah, it's like anybody can pull up there. You could say you're Indian, they ain't gonna question it. You could talk to the Lumbee. I talked to Lumbee before they got federally recognized. Like this was back in November. He was telling me about what they tribes went to. I'm talking to Lumbee when I went like on two different occasions, and they were talking about the first time they were talking about the reclassification. Second time he was just giving me like the history and stuff like that, and what happened to them, how they were fighting for federal recognition and things. Lo and behold, after shit happened.
Because I find the similar dynamics with Native Americans and Black Americans. This is basically like you meeting up at your own regular family reunion.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I got uncles and aunties and cousins. They use the same thing: paw, mama, June bug, and all that. So it's no
Yeah.
different. People make it seem like it is, but it's not really.
It's not. And like, when I say, some of we should go to more powers, show up, we might find our folks there. That's all I'm saying. I'm just to assimilate to know coaches you want to be a part of. I'm just saying you might see your folks there, like in different tribe, or you can use that opportunity that you might not know about a certain tribe. Like say you like a state recognized, you got lineage to like a state recognized tribe, and they're at a powwow. You could probably go and learn about that, and things like that. But if I ain't gonna press the issue, like folks don't want to go to a powwow, they don't have to. But if we got our own powwows, we got cookouts and family reunions and things like that. So
You
yeah,
got the rodeos.
yeah, the rodeo exactly. We got our own powwows, cookouts, barbecues, family reunions, birthday parties, whatever, baby showers. Goddamn it.
Yeah. And we're not jumping around yelling and dancing. That's not what we doing
No,
at
we doing
all.
the
So,
electric slide, bro.
right, man. We, you know what I'm saying? We see walking and be walking, and you know what I'm saying? We cut
Card game.
real. Like our people,
Claiming that they're native,
play the jazz,
that
okay?
they're
I feel
indigenous.
Yeah.
Like that's what tired of Mexicans claiming that they're indigenous. If you're indigenous to Mexico, why do you keep coming to the USA?
Yeah,
That's
hold on.
because, they claim Texas and New Mexico and Arizona and Lower California as because it was formerly once Mexico, but you see a lot of these Latin and Hispanic natives just get money out of it. So this is what we got to deal with: people that want to.
Which is why a lot of people whose ancestors are from Texas, they'll say their nationality is Spanish, Mexican, and then American. And the Mexican part only lasts for 10 years. Mexico
it was a war flag.
so
It
Mexico
was a
only
war.
owned that area for 10 years. Before that, Spain owned it, and after that, the USA owned it. So
Yeah, that was a
You
war map.
understand the natives got pushed down to South and doing slavery. A lot of them ran down to South America too.
Sure.
So maybe that's
Right.
why.
my point was like, if you're indigenous to Mexico, I don't know why you keep claiming the U.S. Imagine millions of indigenous people from the USA went and invaded Mexico. You would not be like, yeah, y'all are indigenous. You'd be like, you're taking up our land. We were here first.
No, they're
No, I'm
saying
not trying to hear it here.
indigenous to the Americas. It's not
I'm
just
not
like
talking. I'm talking to the comment. Imagine 2 million indigenous people from the USA went over to the Caribbean and started buying up Caribbean land, and our excuse was we're indigenous, so we can do that.
Right. Keep believing we pretending as Google has y'all. Huh? What? What is Carmel talking about? Like,
If you're
keep
indigenous
believing.
to a different region, you can't just start invading other indigenous regions. That's ridiculous.
What the hell is Carmel? Yeah, come up here. They can come up here. Yeah,
almost
request up.
South American.
Someone said earlier about how did we get here? Did we just pop up?
Oh, he's muted. Then.
That we just popped up from the soil? Well, no, that never was proven to be true. But here's the thing: is you can take Africa DNA, a man from Africa. You can take his DNA, and you can find that DNA in all other human walks of life. But you can't go to all other walks of life and find DNA that would be compatible to an African.
So spiritually, these are not even from here.
Hold on, let me say. And the reason that is because I know you're not gonna believe it, but the reason that is that the black man was the only man that was actually created by God or a God. He was the only man, and then everything else, the shades of color, genetic research.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. No, listen, spiritually, you guys are not from here. You and the other race, the only people who are from the earth are the Africans. So y'all's planet, I don't know what happened. It got destroyed. And you guys needed to and you guys needed to come here through I guess those Neanderthals and Davidians or whatever.
Ma'am, that's a lie because we
Oh
whole
my
lot of
gosh.
oral stories talking about we came from the soil here.
Hell
no.
Nanowire. Hold on, ma'am. Hold on. Because you really don't know anything about American Indian history. And I don't blame you because they don't teach shit to
I just
y'all
know
in
I
Africa
just know
like that
spiritual
about
earth.
Indian
I just know the
culture.
earth.
Hold on, ma'am. They don't teach shit about us to y'all over there in Africa about specific indigenous American tribes and cultures. They only teach y'all the surface level stuff about Thanksgiving and Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue and genocided some Taino and Wounded Knee, and that's it. They don't teach you anything about specifics. Like we got our own oral traditions, such as the Nanowire story, where they created a man from clay out of the soil from the Americas that's underneath the mounds, which is red and so-called black mud. So let's not play these silly games. You also got other stories from the Aztecs and the Mayans talking about they came from the primordial soup and went to the underworld and received corn from their gods of death. So let's not play these dumb games, bro.
America. But I'm just speaking spiritually. Your kind is not from Earth. You guys just came here because
Man,
I don't
it
know.
doesn't even make any sense.
It depends.
They don't come from Earth.
You got the whole live Dogon. You got some tribes in Africa that talk
ahead.
about they come from the stars. They come from Mars. They come from Sirius B. The Nomo Potolo fish deities and stuff like that.
No,
Yeah,
I'm talking about my ancestry. We're people of the earth and the sun. I don't know about other people. Everybody else.
Some Americans are people of the earth and the sun too.
It's crazy because I've never even heard an African person call themselves a children or a person of the sun.
Yeah,
I've
because
never heard that.
not all of us are.
Wait. I haven't heard that except for through TikTok. And this is only because of TikTok, because they heard other people talking about being the children of the sun, which would be us. And then now they've adapted it because the same reason they adapt so-called being black or so-called being
No,
No,
don't
no.
me.
Those
I'm
terminologies
very
are terminologies that Africans do not use on a normal basis. They don't call themselves African on a normal basis. You don't call yourself children of the sun on a normal basis because listen. I've seen an elder of ours and an elder of yours that sits in the sun look like two different things, and they could be the same age. Then people like black don't crack and all the rest of this stuff, but at some point y'all start cracking, and we don't.
oh, we do.
And that's just facts. I'm not trying to talk junk.
It is.
I'm being honest. I'm not talking
No.
junk. I'm just being honest. Put an American Indian person of a certain age in the same category or a split screen between somebody that's of African descent with the same age, and it's going to look like two different periods of time is going on at the same time. It's not shit talk. It's just the facts.
So you're not gonna find a lot of Africans like me unless you go like in the village areas.
Does
the
your tribe?
spiritual-
Hold on. Does your tribe? My bad. Because does your
It
tribe have
doesn't
a
have,
story?
we have,
Hold
it
on.
has
Does your tribe?
nothing to do. Yeah, we do actually. We came
Uh-huh.
from the east, like I said.
Mhm.
So we worship nature. I mean, if you go down the villages, they're not just gonna express it how you express it, children of the sun or so. But
Right.
we are people of nature, you know,
Mhm.
herbalists. So that's the spiritual, and they explained to me there are certain, not everybody is the same. What
Right.
you guys are saying, and there's certain beings that came here to Earth, but we are the originals because like I don't know how to explain it. I don't know about other Africans, and not a lot of Africans understand this, but I do believe your kind maybe you have a little bit of our power in you, which is I think you guys call melanin.
What? All right now. All right now.
She didn't flip the whole.
How are we not the originals? But y'all, hold on, y'all use our culture. Y'all eat plantains. Hold on.
Forget the culture.
Y'all eat cassava, plantains, potatoes,
You can't
tomatoes.
forget the culture.
You use jazz. How do you use jazz music to make Afro beats? You can't even make music without us. You steal our dance moves. If you're original, you don't have to steal from a being you say came after you. That don't make no sense.
The reason why I
Like
said
what?
Every time I
originals-
give somebody, hold on, every time I give someone some
reason
leeway,
why I
they
said
try
we
to
are
they
the
prove me. Hold on one
originals.
second, give people some leeway and some give them a chance. They show why I should. That shit crazy. They always flip. Every time I try to give people a nice layup so they can explain themselves, and they flip that shit right on us. Like, how the fuck you gonna say yeah, we have melanin in us. We're melanated people, just like y'all are. And if you want to be honest, if saying like, oh, some of us are y'all, or whatever you were trying to say, like
No.
saying like us, y'all are on a higher spiritual totem pole than us. That's crazy.
No, what I'm trying to say is the reason why I said we're the originals because the power is more within us.
Oh, brother.
That power you guys call the
In
melanin.
what way, shape, or form? In what way? You
Yeah,
can't make.
that's what she
like
said.
blanket
More
statements.
power. More power.
I
You said you
understand.
had more.
But
Hold on.
where is the blanket statement being validated at though? That's my
No,
point.
I'm about to end my. Hold on. That's because she finally reminded me what she said, so I'm about to end my point there.
So the thing is what I'm trying
Hold
to say.
on, can you let me speak? God damn. Why do y'all won't try to overtalk me all the goddamn time? God damn. What I was saying, right, is she said they had more power, they got more spiritual power or whatever than us, right? Now that being said, it's funny how ironic that we actually have American stories about our people teaching y'all power and through spirituality and stuff like that, spiritual knowledge, like the Mayans, right? The Mayans said the star people, the star elders, that came from a specific star constellation, came down to Earth and visited the Mayans first through in Atlantis. Then they went to Egypt and taught the Egyptians. Then they went to India and taught the people of India. Then they went to China and to Cambodia, right? Aligning with the stars, right? And things like that, giving spiritual power and things like that. And it's high ironic, right? In the Americas, we have the oldest creation story found in America, which is over 100,000 years old. Only other people that speak about this creation story are Aboriginal Australians. And don't worry, I got a book on that coming. I will put that story in biblical form.
We can talk all about stories, but our power was given to other species so they can survive on this earth. So if you look at all the other people here, you just got to look who has more of that power. So in order for these guests to be able to survive on Earth, a little bit of our power, the melanin power, had to be given to the Neanderthals or those species or the other.
Yeah, and give us no power. Who created soul music and soul food?
So I'm talking about the power. Everything else is physical. The culture.
Everything else. We got powers. We got powers too.
Culture is power, though. Culture is power.
In order to be on this earth, you have to have that power within you, which is the melanin. If you don't have no melanin in you, you can't survive here. So our power was taken and given to other people who came here as guests so they can survive. And those people are now holding claim to the earth. Whether it be the Americas, the Europe, at the end of the day, the original people are the melanin.
You keep talking about melanin, but Africans create the most amount of albinos in the entire world. So I'm very
though they came through us, those other species. They came.
So then you don't have power. How you talking about some of the power comes from melanin, but y'all create the most albinos in the entire world. That's ridiculous.
So y'all had to use us to come in this world. You have to
nah.
Hold on, let me say something right quick. She said she's the sun people. How if y'all say that y'all
because we have more of the melanin?
Wait. Stop right there, because the people with the most melanin on Earth would be the South Asians, such as the North Sentinel Islanders. They're darker than you West Central Africans. Y'all would be considered light skinned to them. So that's crazy work. And then on top of that, the equator circles around the planet, not just revolves around Africa. So that also includes the Southern United States, Southwest United States, Central America, Southern America, Caribbeans, all that. We would have dark-skinned people here with sun worship. The second people that will be associated with sun worship will be the ancient Egyptian Cometians, and the Neteru, the Tasseti, Cushites, and all them, not West Central Africans, because many of y'all talk about coming from nature and the weather, just like the Semis amongst the Arawak and Taino. Y'all got similar deities, but it ain't talking about sun worship. It's talking about y'all worshiping fish gods and
a lot of us just don't remember who we really
one at a time.
Yeah, shit, this is all time. But I just think I read the funniest shit in this book already.
A lot of us
I just read the funniest shit, yeah.
But in order to know who the really is, you gotta weigh the power, you gotta weigh the melanin. So a lot of us are lost, and it was created like that. It's a system for the true original people to not remember who they are.
You're not original people.
Since I had to read this shit, y'all gotta read it with me. This shit is hilarious. Since I done read this shit, y'all gotta read this shit with me. Let me flip my camera. Yeah, what the fuck is this shit? This is hilarious. It says the Muskogee Greeks, the Muskogee Greeks, have a branch of Indians called the Abenaki, aka the Lenape Delaware Moors. Sometimes Abenaki is spelled Wabanaki. It is evident that the Abenaki and Anunnaki, this ain't the Abenaki and
Anunnaki.
Or Jabberwocky from Alice in Wonderland.
He said, boy, see, are you funny? He said, boy, hell nah.
Yeah, I don't know how y'all are original, but you can't even feed your people. Over 600, hold on. Over 600. I'm not gonna be yelling over y'all. Over 600 crops in Africa come from the American continent. You're the motherland, but you can't feed your children. What is going on?
It's a spiritual war.
It's not a spiritual war.
Yes, it's playing out in the physical.
Okay, what does your spirit have to do with you not being able to feed people from your land? Your spirit has nothing to do with the animals that are indigenous to Africa. That has nothing to do with anything.
Understanding in the physical knowledge of it. I'm speaking more of a spiritual.
You talking about y'all have power. What power? You can't even feed your children. You can't even feed your children. That's not power.
That's kind of
Don't
crazy.
worry. The day
That's
of
not power.
LSU
You
is
bugging the
coming.
fuck out, Venus. We gotta keep it.
Stop cussing up here.
No, bro. Keep cooking.
My fault, Venus. You bugging though. You gotta.
I'm not
you-
bugging at all.
Can
Their
I
land
explain?
is so
Can I
infertile.
explain my point of view? Because I'm sure you the type to sit here and be like, well, the white man has done so much wrong to me, and that's
I
why
don't
feel
care
bad
about the
for-"
white T man.
No,
Y'all
no, can I-
obsessed with white T man. Y'all are obsessed with your white T daddy. Stop bringing up the white T man.
Nah,
I
I
don't
could care
care about.
less.
I don't care about your white T daddy. Stop bringing up white T people.
It's
White T
like-
white T is not even a thing. All white T people have different genetics. Stop bringing
Y'all
up
get
white T
this loud
people.
bitch mod.
Stop bringing up white T people. Don't
Yeah,
talk to me
she's a
about
mod.
white T
You
people.
talking
It's a
shit to a
loud
mod.
bitch mod.
Dang.
Oh, the YT.
I don't care about the white
The
tea
white
at all.
T
What
man.
I'm saying is,
Nobody cares.
what I'm
Don't come
saying
here to
is
cry
you
about the white
that
T
type.
man. Look at the background. We're in the background, as I say, the white T
Oh,
man.
look at this
What
man.
conversation? What conversation were we having about the white T man? Stop coming here to cry about white T
Do you
people.
think you're the Native American?
Stop coming up here to cry about
Do
white
you
T
think
people.
you're
That's
Native
what this.
American?
There we go.
Man,
Do you think you're Native
This one he
American?
wanted to come up here and say, you can talk to me now.
I'm not Native American.
Me
Oh,
neither.
okay, bet. Then we got no problem.
I'm
I'll-
American Indian,
Sorry,
not
what,
Native
what,
American.
what,
Oh,
what,
nice.
hold on, hey,
But
hold
you're
on.
not.
Let me get this.
You're not. You're not
Where
Native
you,
American.
where
You're
you
not
from?
American.
You're dude. Dude. I don't even want to speak. Nigga, you're mostly
You're not
Spaniard.
Native American. nigga.
You're mostly Dominicans are mostly Spaniard by DNA. So
It's actually a very diverse nation.
nah, y'all mostly Spaniards.
My uncle looks like Wesley Snipes.
Your uncle look like Wesley Snipes, but you mostly Spaniard.
You don't even
Nigga,
have
what is
lips.
nigga? You do not think you're mixed?
Did you say nigga?
Look, he talking
I
like
know.
us.
Hold on, one
Nigga.
second. Hold on, I ain't got white shit. I know a Haitian that speaks Spanish ain't call me a nigga. I know a Haitian that speaks Spanish did not just call me nigga.
I don't know
Yeah,
why
man, get your Haitian ass off my stream. Get your Haitian ass off my screen.
That's crazy.
Off my panel.
White T ones, but you ain't got no lips. Like, what is going on?
He literally lived in AT because that's all one big island.
I don't know why you guys.
Erica, did you mean to come up? Yeah, get this Haitian out the panel. Haitian that speaks Spanish.
Yeah.
He was
I
trying
could have
to
said,
say-
nah. We don't listen to Haitians that speak Spanish right now. That say nigga. Not the ones that say nigga. We don't listen to Haitians that speak Spanish that say nigga.
Facts.
I don't get online complaining with the white T man all day. They all have different. White T people will march in the streets first before Africans will. So how about that?
And then on top of that, culturally, they uphill the white T man. Like Kamala Harris.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're
nothing
enslaving
about
his people.
Yeah, Erica, did you want to speak?
Marching in the streets for us than African people. So let's not.
Yeah, that's because y'all don't accept us.
Oh, brother.
Well, y'all hate us.
People, but they still march for us. So what's the relevance?
I don't care about them. I'm
Okay,
just
so
thinking about why
stop the
Africans
excuses.
will all be
Stop
over
the
there.
Okay,
excuses.
listen.
Because you're
Listen,
right
listen.
African.
I have an African friend. Listen, I had an African friend growing up in high school, and the only things that he told me that he would expect inside of America is Black Americans. He said that we will, that we are like the worst things that can ever happen to, to America. Basically, his folks taught him to hate us, and that we are two different people, and that stay away from them because they are cuckoo and they're wild and they don't take advantage of their education and all of their opportunities and all this crap.
Well, I grew up here, and I don't know how children can have hate. So it's not their folks; it's what he's experienced, and what I've experienced with the
Well, it's
Americans.
who y'all
No
married.
Africans hate Americans.
Y'all don't F with us. Y'all really don't. Y'all don't mess with us.
What do you mean we don't mess? Y'all don't mess
Y'all
with
don't.
us.
You
grew up
proving it now. You're
What?
talking about y'all got the power and we don't. Like, what are you talking about? And we don't got melanin. Like,
For me, spiritually, melanin proves that I'm original. Spiritually, I don't know about the science and
But
everything.
damn, your degree of melanin is lighter than the Asiatic, which the Asiatic so-called
I'll
black
I'll
man.
have to look into that. Anybody whose melanin is deeper than mine's, then yeah, there. I don't know. I just know mine is it's really, really deep. I'm not that dark anyway, but I don't have any other admixtures in me.
Grandma, and these are her full-blooded siblings. They have the same parents. As you can see, they're different skin tones. So I'm just
Or
mixed.
maybe you're associated.
YT people do not have the same origin story. YT is not real. They're all different. They all have
Okay.
different genetics. They all have different origins.
That's
YT is
fine.
not
You're-
real. That's not a
you're
real thing.
associating
That is
skin
not a real
color-
thing.
You're associating skin color with melanin. I never spoke
You
about skin
said
color.
YT. What are you talking about? I didn't say that. You said YT.
You brought
YT
your
is a color.
One is lighter, the other one is darker. That has
You
nothing-
brought that up. You
He's
said if your skin
gaslighting
is
the whole
darker,
line.
you said if you have more melanin, you're more original. That's what you said.
Yes. What does that
And
have
that
to do
doesn't
with
make
these
any
people-
sense, Mom.
And on the background, these people have the same parents, but they're different skin tones. So you're saying you could have the same parents, but
Can you let me
via
speak?
a genetic mutation, your siblings
Hold
be the
on,
originals. I'm
before you
confused.
go, ma'am. You whole live got the Khoisan and the white genetics say that they predate you dark skinned Africans. So how are you gonna say that if the science don't match up with what you say? I'll lay my
Okay,
plane.
I'm gonna address that later. Melanin you have less melanin. Could be
Listen, the only thing that melanin does, well, not the only thing, but the crux of melanin, it surrounds every cell inside of your body and it protects it from light, from UVA, UVB, and UVC radiation. That's the only thing that it protects you from. It doesn't, let's just keep it there. And we know that
the
animals,
physical
but
world.
every human being have melanin. Okay, so it's not a spooky thing. Everybody have it. It's not exclusive to anybody.
You're speaking in the physical knowledge.
I'm talking about real life.
Okay, spiritually, melanin is a power to me. It's an
I
energy.
can't speak for you.
Oh, okay.
And we get that through our mother. Everybody. That's what keeps us alive. Someone sells.
I really look into it, but everybody has, even if it's not a lot, but everybody has melanin in them. So
spiritually,
So why do you think that is some sort of magical power that only you got?
no,
Why do you think
I'm not the only one who have it. In order to be in this world, everybody
why
has
would
to
you
have it. It came from
why
my
would you sit
people.
on your high horse
That is how that today is related. We are cousins. You can find African blood in every walk of life, but you can't find every walk of life.
Suppressed to bring in male.
You calling on like the Orishas?
Are awakening faster than my side. You understand? I don't know why that is, but when it comes to the knowledge, you guys' part are becoming, and this is why I'm like in all groups of melanated people, because I feel like you guys are melanated people in the world.
Well, we can kind of debate that, but like because we got the most, the biggest bully, living right on top of our land, and y'all are dealing with foreign adversaries coming onto y'all's land and sanctioning y'all and taxing the crap out of y'all. But it's obvious,
Exactly.
y'all know who y'all is.
Exactly. And this is why I'm on you guys' feel like you guys hold awaken us. You understand?
Y'all don't need our help.
You don't have to
We
go
was
help us with money,
Y'all don't need our
but
help.
use the
We was actually
powers
asking
you
y'all for
got,
help,
the
but
spirit of this, because the spirit you guys have of like awakening, like I don't know, send it our way. I don't know how you guys
I
look
feel
at
like
it.
it'll be a domino effect, is what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah, maybe that's it. I lost my point. I was trying to say something and it completely came off my head. But I commune with my ancestors, first because they're close to me, than communing with other gods. They will take like a little bit much longer, but to manifest what I want at fast, I go to the people that are closer to me, which are my ancestors who mean well for me.
the explanation how we got here. See, when you say when the black man came to America, the first thing you think of is the slave ships. And that was no way possible that could have happened. Because see, when the land started breaking apart, there was only one man that was walking this earth, and that was the black man. And when he drifted out at sea for all those thousands and millions of years before the continent as we know them today got established, that man that came from Africa was still on that piece of land when it settled. A man, they go in order. They go the black man, the brown man, the yellow man, the red man, and then the white man. And if you want to know why the white man was last,
I'm up here.
hello?
I'm up here. You are my bad. Are you gonna get muted? Folks coming up here coming in here talking shit. Come up here and get muted. Go ahead. My bad, David.
No, I was about finished, but and the white man was the last, if you want to call it color, was the last color made. But the subject that we are talking about
was good. Show that archaeological evidence.
Now, who the hell? This is what you sound like? That's what your musty ass sound like? Negro history?
Yeah,
Well,
not
yeah,
like
you
a booty faggot. What up?
Man, watch your mouth.
Right.
Stop trying. Don't come up here saying no fucking trigger words, dumbass. Get the fuck off my stage. Not like no. Got a whole sound like he smoked all the fucking cigarettes before he came up here. Drop some fruits in the chat. Y'all ain't about to get my live clip because y'all know how to control y'all fucking selves. Stop acting like hyenas. That's why nobody listens to you goofy ass nigga. This is a dude that stalks me on Twitter every day. This is a dude that stalks me on Twitter every day, talking about being obsessed, threatening to call Morgan State University, a school that I graduated from 5 years ago, dummy. I'm not even enrolled there at the school. Show us no, we don't show archaeological history to fucking hyenas. Learn how to behave, fucking pit bull. How about that? Learn how to fucking behave. Y'all claim y'all the smartest people in the world, or y'all more intellectual than us, but don't have no fucking decorum, no emotional intelligence. Y'all act like fucking children. Who the hell is Zesty? Y'all, you ain't been out you ain't been in none since you came out of one. Y'all incels on Twitter. Y'all follow people that repost corn all day. Weirdo. Y'all kiss up the fucking cake lady of all people. Y'all kiss up the cake lady of all people. The fuck does that mean? That's your fucking queen? You soft? Don't get my live clip. Have some decorum. I know y'all ain't got decorum back in whatever place you're from, right? You ain't got no decorum back there, but you gonna. Why am I so goddamn racist? Because you's a bitch. That's why. Now get the fuck off my panel. Like, ain't nobody being racist. People gotta have some decorum. Hell, yeah, that's lame as hell. That's weak as hell. That is lame as hell and that's weak as hell. You scared? Ain't nobody scared of nothing. Don't say no fucking inflammatory shit on my live stream. Go to someone else. Go to someone else's live stream and get they shit clipped. Y'all mad tough on the internet. Y'all mad tough on the internet. You know, yeah, you talk about Morgan State. Right? I bet your ass, I bet your ass won't even go there. I bet your ass won't even come to Morgan State. Where I'm at, people know where I'm at. I'm not hard to find. I'll send you the dojo and everything. Yeah. I'll send you the dojo and everything that I go to. See how tough you niggas really is.
I speaking in Ebonic, speaking your African languages, Patriot GT, they do not speak like that. The way you type and they don't speak like that.
Any other country. So
DM me.
He's African.
Y'all talk about all these DMs. Y'all never DM shit. So yeah, DM me then. And let me know when you're in Baltimore.
Oh, I thought he's American. What?
Yeah.
Talking about the dude, his thing is inward history, and then the other dude, he looks like he's from Latin America.
You said put it there.
That's
This
not how
dude
that's
in
not
a
how they talk in Latin.
this dude in a whole nother country. Yeah, around uh-oh.
Are you guys all in Baltimore?
No, I'm the only one up here that's in Baltimore.
I'm from California, but I'm in Louisiana right now.
Oh, I'm in Montgomery. We're not far.
Oh brother. Of course you're in Montgomery. That's where never mind.
What?
Never mind. It's a bunch of immigrants in Montgomery County. That's all I'll say.
No, there isn't. You mean PG?
Shit, PG in Montgomery. It's a bunch of y'all there. A bunch of Africans, a bunch of Latinos.
Maybe Latinos. But Latinos are everywhere.
Latinos.
There's not a lot of immigrants in here. Maybe the ones from Ukraine. Yeah, there's a lot of them over here.
Oh, brother, that's too much. That's too much. That Baltimore a whole different world. We even got that many immigrants. So that's
Arabic, and Jew people over here, Arabic, and those Ukrainians people are just coming in here. No, but they're better than the actual whitey.
Man, that's crazy. But it's a bunch of Montgomery County and stuff like that. Yeah, I was just in Montgomery County not too long ago.
What area?
I was in Silver Spring.
Okay, all right. So what did that guy? What was he trying? He was trying to attack you or go against?
He called me. Like they stalk me on Twitter and shit. He's in my comments every day on Twitter. And then he came up. He called me the F slur. He called me the F slur. And tried to like that's. He sounds like some type maybe Caribbean or African. I heard an accent on him. Like it's always these
Africans.
Well, not all. I mean, they're foreigners. I mean, they be immigrants in my comments on Twitter every day, stalking and harassing folks.
Are you going to the immigrants all the time?
No, I just be posting shit. I be talking about all the time. Posting immigrants. It's always it's mostly about American Indian stuff, and they can't fathom to stand that.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't care. Like you guys can be whatever you want to be. And they shouldn't care either. Like everybody can be what they want to be.
And guess what? His goofy ass followed me on TikTok so he could try to stalk me on TikTok. Like, get a life, nigga. Like, get a life.
That's crazy. But yeah, spiritually, nobody's better than anybody. And that's part of being a spiritual person. You're not gonna put yourself in high regard amongst the other. Really, I feel like you guys as people, I don't need science. I'm just trying to like understand more deeper. You guys hold the spiritual knowledge of where even my people came from. Because for us, it's not like we don't know. You guys talk about there are certain agents, and it's true. I believe you guys. That is trying to make certain people not know who they are or distract them. And I wish my people that can understand much deeper, but a lot of them don't unless you go to the villages and meet those spiritual people, they'll know what you guys are talking about. And if you tell them, "Hey, I'm not part of you. I'm not you. I'm separate from you," and they'll believe you. I'm telling you. In a spiritual sense.
Hold on. Hold on. I'm down. Hold on, real quick. I'm
But I
about to shut
do
it.
DMV. Slick. What you got? Yes.